Call 1-800-983-6530 now. This advertisement is paid for by Heritage for the Blind.
880 ESPN, WHSQ, and WCBS-FM HD2, New York. A Good Karma Brands radio station. Don.
I'll be licking the television screen. Licking it like it's ice cream.
Hahn.
Oh, the type of music I listen to would make you cry.
And Rosenberg.
I expect to be called ball coach. This isn't North Dakota. This is New York.
This is Don, Hahn, and Rosenberg.
The best threesome I've ever heard.
On ESPN New York and streaming live on YouTube.
Oh, the boys are back. Don LaGreca back with us. Looking splendid, I might say, as well, Donnie. With Don LaGreca and with
Pretty well
Peter
rested.
Rosenberg. I'm Alan Hahn. This is Don Hahn and Rosenberg. March Madness has begun already. Some upsets happening, or one at least has gone down. Another one in the works, as we're just keeping an eye on that stuff for you. More importantly, though, boys, Drop Madness begins today as well.
Now you got me in. Now I'm in.
Now you're in.
I would have taken another day, to be honest with you.
And Don, a decision was just made in the 10 seconds that you were off the phone.
Yeah, I was.
And we were still talking. A decision was made. A show change was made.
Yeah.
What was that?
I hope you're on board. Well, I said, why do we always do the drops at 4:20? And Don, I was thinking, does that go back to literally when I was starting on the show at 4 o'clock?
It might have been. You know what?
So
That's a great, which is another one of the really stupid executive decisions that were made at this radio station.
Well, we don't want to go all the way. Just put them on at 4.
Yeah, exactly.
But so as a result, we have made a decision. I hope you're down for it. We're going to release the bracket and get things started at 3:20, not 4:20.
You know what? I dig
boom!
it.
Let's do it.
I dig it the most.
Yeah.
Let's get after it. Let's play these drops.
I like that.
And let's talk some hoops. There's a lot to do. We got Donnie Pucks back. Alan and I just came out of our food coma. We're not trying to rub it in your face.
No, you
when
are.
I tell you missed the best food remote in the history of the station, it's not overstating it.
I think that might be the most accurate thing you said, because it really was one of those. When Tom came over, our wonderful server, who was great, and we shout out Kristen as well, who was such a great host with us, and handed the menu and was like, all right, do you know what you want? I'm like, yeah, I pretty much want everything, like all of it. That sounds good to me. I didn't know that Peter was going to eat all of it, but he did.
That's
good
again.
for you.
He's still taking liberties. It's not right.
What?
He's been on me. No, for two. He's become the new Rick.
Well, you know
what? It's out of love. You know that. And speaking of Rick,
that's what they all say.
Don,
that's what they all say.
Were you privy, Don, to the 9 and 9 and 9 Met thing, the challenge, right?
Yes.
9 hot dogs, 9 beers, 9 innings.
Yes.
I challenged the morning show because Rick was sitting with us when we discussed it, and I said, we're going to go to a game, and we're going to do it and see who taps out, who can't get to the 9 beers, 9 dogs in 9 innings.
Now, do you think, Don,
this morning? What do you think?
Oh, they did. What were they saying this morning about it? I'm curious.
It kind of didn't go where I was hoping it would go. They were too busy talking about, are the hot dogs small? Is it a small beer? Doesn't matter. It's a challenge. Let's do it. And I thought it would be a fun thing to do, a show outing. We'd have to get the day off. That's always, it's like giving blood. But, maybe we can make it happen. What do you think?
Well, Don, go ahead. You go.
I was going to say, I love the idea. I couldn't do it. I think I could probably do the hot dogs. I couldn't do the beer.
Couldn't do 9 beers in 9 innings?
No.
2.5 hours.
And the other thing, too, is the marketing idea. It's brilliant in a way, but also nonsensical. I don't want to buy a beer. And then what condition is it going to be in by the 9th inning?
Not a good condition.
Wait. They're not handing you all 9.
Yeah.
Oh,
no, it's a whole
you haven't
box.
seen the tray?
What?
There's a big tray.
I thought that was a graphic.
No. It's a whole big
Hang on
thing
a
that you bring to your
second.
seat.
Why the hell would you have the 9 beers sitting for 9 innings? That's dumb. Why
Well,
wouldn't
I
it
agree.
be a voucher and you just go back when all right, next inning? Like, how do they
and
not
maybe
do it
three,
that way?
maybe they do 3 and 3, and you go every.
Yeah,
3
that
innings.
is true. It is
It's
possible.
a tray with 9 beers.
Let's
It
give them
is.
a break. Let's give them a break for a second because it is possible that at least for the picture they had full beers for all 9. But I'm sure if you purchase it, come on, because the beers are just not going to age well by the time you get to the 9th inning, right?
Just
I mean,
get
you want
refills.
to. I want to be able to have a cold beer.
Guys, the Phillies have done this. You get the full the full thing.
That's
God.
crazy.
All right, forget it.
But they're not full beers, and they're not full-size hot dogs.
It's still forget it. It
Wait a
doesn't
minute,
make
they're not
sense.
full. What beers are we talking about?
Look, I can't tell you how much they are. I'll send you guys a picture of what it looks like. To me, these look like maybe 4-ounce beers.
Well, because that's
you can't do 9 full beer. That's a lawsuit waiting.
We got all excited. I can't remember the name of the bar. Probably shouldn't even mention. Probably not even open anymore.
Don't name it.
But the reason I remember it was because it was literally the night before Super Bowl 25, Giants Bills. We go to Pearl River, New York, because there's a 10-cent draft night, and we're like, we're going. It's like Dixie cups. That shouldn't count.
That's not a draft.
That's not a 10-cent draft. I mean, it might be a draft, but it's a Dixie cup.
You know what I mean.
So I'm looking though.
This Phillies thing looks like a wine glass.
It looks like a miniature sort of thing.
You guys ever go to those like tastings, whether it be a wine tasting or a beer tasting, and they give you that glass?
Yeah, it's one of those.
That's kind of what we're messing with.
All
right, forget it now.
This is why we can't have anything.
You know,
you want to do one on your own, you can.
I'll tell you what. You know what, Anthony? This is why you're a brilliant producer. Because I was thinking, why don't we instead? Let's go. That's the throwdown. Real beers.
Yeah.
Real hot dogs. Every inning we get up, we go to
That's
the stand.
it.
We
That's
get
part
one
of the
and
experience,
one, go back.
right? First of all, who wants to sit with a big tray in their lap for 9
Nobody.
innings, right?
Nobody.
Come on. Let's all grow up. Let's be grown-ups, okay?
Let's do it.
Let's do it the traditional way. Now, I won't because 3 beers in, forget it. I'll be a mess.
You think so?
I can't tell you the last time I had more than 3 beers was probably college. I'd be shot. The hot dogs, forget about it.
For me, guys, here's the issue.
What is it?
It's not like the drunkenness from 9 beers, like
the
beer
bloat.
over. It's the bloat. It's
the
like
bloat. Yeah.
And also that you have to add. There has to be like Rolaids or some sort of antacid. Your Tums. There has to be.
But that's cheating.
9999.
Well, you know what?
No, I need one an inning.
Joey Chestnut doesn't get to do that.
what's
That's
funny?
cheating.
I'm going to tell you, all of a sudden, if we're at Citi Field doing this, right, and I'm drinking all those beers, and I get to like 5-6 beers,
licking it like an ice cream.
I don't think I'd be drunk. All of a sudden, you would think you were at Yankee Stadium, and there were 2 strikes on a batter. Because all of a sudden, from wherever we'd be sitting, you'd hear, I'd be tearing it up. There'd be no seat left by the time that was over. I'd be like in a section by myself. I'd be like when Charlie Sheen bought a whole section because he wanted to catch a home run ball. By the 7th inning, I'd be sitting in a section by myself. And every year,
I now want to do this even more. I think this would be a great social media experiment. Just starting out at the beginning.
You know that's why they're doing it, though.
What a mess we look like at the end.
That's 100% a social thing. Some influencer's going to do that and sit it at their lap.
And just, ugh.
Shove that glizzy right down.
What's worse, the cold dog or the warm beer?
that's interesting.
That's some combo. And Don's right. You start doing that stuff, forget about it. It's all over.
Warm beer is just gross.
Ugh.
It's probably the warm beer, right? Especially if it's hot.
Well,
we're doing this in the middle of June.
Make you throw up. Sorry, that ruins that idea. But speaking of the Mets, though, how about the announcement today from Howie Rose?
I was emotional today.
You got emotional?
Well, because listen, he's
voice of a generation.
He is. He started with the Mets in 1987 doing Mets Extra.
Now, just so anyone who might be listening who doesn't know, Howie Rose announced that this will be his final season on the mic as the voice of the Mets.
Yes,
and it's been a long and glorious run for him. And it was a message. He put out a video and all that. Yeah. I know he was on with Michael earlier, and it's just it's a pretty significant moment for a Mets fan and in New York sports.
Well, he means so much to me just as a Met fan and as a hockey fan, but mainly as a Met fan because in 1987 when FAN started, your first all sports radio, they had the Mets because the Mets were on WHN,
right?
And they took over and got the Mets, and that was a big thing for in 1987 coming out off the World Series, and I'm watching every game, and I wanted to do what Howie was doing. So I was listening to Mets Extra, and then he would call up Steve Summers in the overnight and talk to him, and I was just always infatuated with this guy that was a huge fan, and getting to call and being involved with the team that he loved. And 1987, I was a freshman going into my sophomore year of college. I'm like, I'd love to be able to do that. So I've always felt a kinship with him because then I started to do that, doing the Jets and the Rangers, and he filled in for Marv, and I filled in for Kenny. So there was that symmetry. So I always felt a kinship with Howie. And then when I got into the business and we became friendly, he was a big help to me, because he went from radio to television and then back to radio again. And he was a talk show host. So there were so many times I'd see him at arenas, I'd see him at the stadium, and I'd talk to him. And he was always so gracious with his time. And I'm a fan, but I'm also a friend. And just to see that I'm not going to be able to, hear him anymore, it was tough to take. Now I'll still be able to reach out to him. So from a mentor standpoint, he's not going anywhere for me. But to just not turn on the radio and hear Howie Rose doing a Met game is going to be very odd. And I think there's something special about him because Ranger fans connect with him because maybe the biggest call in New York sports history, Mateau was called by him. He did the Islanders for over 20 years and doing the Mets for as long as he's done. So I think there's a lot of fan bases that can connect with Howie. Plus, he's a tremendous guy, tremendous human being. And
he's a big New York sports fan too. He's somebody that he loves all of New York sports, pays attention to all of it, consumes all of it. So,
and I never told this because it just happened and it never came up in conversation. But doing the Devils, I had a moment during the season. We were in Florida, and for the second time, I slipped and said Rangers instead of Devils, and I got hammered. Hammered on social media.
How dare you?
So I'm on the bus going to the airport, and I was in a bad place. And I reached out to Howie because I just wanted to know, because he had to make the transition from Ranger guy to Islander guy. And even though there's the backstory of me originally being a Devil fan, I think there was a lot of Devil fans that were dubious about that or didn't know the backstory. Here's this Ranger guy coming in doing Devil games, and he slips a Ranger in instead of Devil. And I text Howie, and he got back to me right away. And it was just nice to he calmed me down, made me feel good, and I was able to get over it. But, I'll never forget that. That was because if he had if he didn't see it or was busy, there'd be no big deal. But the fact that he was able to get right back to me, that was really, he didn't have to do that. And that talked me off the ledge a little bit. Luckily, I haven't done it again, but it may happen again. Who knows? When you do the Rangers for 15 years, it slips, right?
Of course. Muscle memory. Yeah.
But, how fans are not known for being very forgiving.
No.
But the fact that he got back to me tells me two things. He's a hell of a human being, and he also got it. So I'm gonna appreciate this year. He's doing all the home games, the 3 games at Yankee Stadium, and if they do go to the playoffs, he will be at every playoff game, including the road. And he's also going to be like Sam Rosen, where in the future he'll still come back for ceremonies. He'll still be the MC for different events at Citi Field, so he's not going to disappear. But it's been tough, man. In the last calendar year, John Sterling retired, Sam Rosen retired, Howie Rose retired. We're losing giants in this industry.
Yeah.
Giants.
Yeah.
So, you just take a moment to appreciate them, man.
Really, it when you put it in that perspective of like a changing of the guard, so to speak, right? Like how this has been a change in era for a lot of voices that, again, the older generation, us, we've grown up with. My experience with Howie was when I was first starting covering hockey. He was the voice of the Islanders, and again, like when you're young and you're new, coming onto a scene and you see people like, again, names and voices and people that you recognize, and you're just hoping these are the ones you go to get advice, to try to follow and all that stuff. And it was him. It was Joe Micheletti. We're calling the games back then,
right?
And because, again, I was with Newsday, they traveled to every Islander game. Nobody else did because at that time, especially my first year, the team was terrible. It wasn't worth the coverage. And so there was a lot of moments that it's just all it was me. So they would always look out for the fact that they knew I was by myself. So if there was dinners, invited along to dinner. You know, if they, you know, at shoot arounds, morning skates, part of the conversation. You know, and then that's what you love is the understanding of like welcoming in, offering advice and all that stuff. And then when I made this move over to broadcasting, like, you know, those are the guys you go to as well to look for advice. So Howie's always been that guy, always willing to help, always willing to give you advice. But I always to me, it was he had such a passion for New York sports and such a recall of it as well, of the history and everything. He loved talking history. And that's, I always respected him for that. I always loved that part of it. And it wasn't easy for him to make that transition because he was somebody that was known for the Rangers. So a lot of Islander fans, you know, they gave him a hard time in the beginning.
Yeah.
But he gave everything he had. And I'll tell you what, there was no one that felt better about that 2002 season when they finally broke through after 7 years and made the playoffs. There was no one happier to call games than him.
Yeah.
Because he knew how much it meant. He had been through so many years of the team being bad that it was his chance to have a couple of signature calls. And, of course, you know, that first year there wasn't a lot. It was a first round. But, man, his Sean Bates, that call was phenomenal.
No, it was a tough time for them, but it was those couple of playoff runs. When we first started the radio station, I was there for all of them. That's where we got to meet Alan, and
yeah,
it was always fun. That's where I connected with Howie, and we've been friends ever since. But since we're talking a little hockey, just like the New Jersey Devils protect their home ice, Viking Pest Control protects your home. And I know this because I use Viking Pest Control at my own house. And they do a tremendous job as the pest control provider and proud partner of the New Jersey Devils. Viking brings 45 years of trusted experience and expert service to keep ants, cockroaches, and stinging insects, rodents, and even mosquitoes out of your zone. Their local team builds a personalized game plan that actually works. And when you bundle pest control with mosquito service, you score big savings. One call, one company, total peace of mind. Visit VikingPest.com, protecting your home inside and out.
Well, Peter, I think since we changed the rules, let's get right to it then.
Oh, yeah.
Today is the first day of Drop Madness.
Don't even mess.
It's a very, very special day. We didn't want to wait till 4:20. We want to get things underway right now. Voting can be done on Twitter. Is that, Anthony, is that our only voting vehicle? We keeping it strictly Twitter?
Yeah, I'll have to come up with something better down the road, but it's going to be Twitter the way that we used to. And if people aren't a fan of it.
Anthony, it's pronounced Twitter.
Oh, I'm sorry. I apologize to Twitter's family.
Twitter.
So let's get to it, guys.
Or X.
Let's go.
We start off. No one says X. What are you, a freak? We start off in the flubs. Ebro and I have a theory. Don't ever trust anyone who says X unless they have to for some sort of legal reason. Let's start off in the flubs region with the replacement and proper 1 seed.
25 a month. Don on Rosenberg with you until 7. In your ears. Get out them famously fast.
Well earned 1 seed.
And I want to give credit to the committee for realizing the errors of their ways.
It's never been done.
Never been done. But guess what? It's a new era. And ever since we lost Andrew Gunlin, God bless him, and he was
still
replaced
alive.
Still alive. That's right. And he was replaced by the great Anthony Pusick. You know, we've seen small changes, but this is a major move, and I respect it. That 1 seed is up against the 16.
Ooh.
The general public that wants his steak on a head immediately.
Yeah.
And that may be one of the biggest. That may be one of the biggest drubbings you will ever see in the tournament, in my opinion.
What would the spread
Don,
be, 50?
And Don, could that be a 90-10 win?
Yes, easily.
It could happen. Now, also in the Flubs region, we have the 8 seed. Happy Jewish New Year, not Newish Jew Year. Up against the 9 seed.
Cowboys trailing the Vikings. Final seconds of a divisional round playoff game.
There it
Roger
is.
Staubach.
Yeah, of course. Grande.
Yeah, a tight matchup, sort of like the TCU-Ohio State game earlier today in the 8-9. We go to the funny region, where some are saying it's the number 1 overall seed in the tournament. We'll find out. Is in action.
Little yo-yo monkey boy, he wanted me to jump up and make the jokey so the people go laugh time.
Up against the spry 16 seed.
Hey, guys, anyone want to play some ball?
That's got upset potential.
Listen, that would be huge, but I love play some ball. It's a great 16.
Yeah.
Wow. And then this is just a really personally for me a tough one to watch. The 8 seed.
Maya, can you say mama?
Up against the 9 seed. Can the polar bear upset the straw? What a battle. We go to the troubling region, and this is, guys, I love this matchup. The 1 seed.
I had diarrhea that you dream about.
The O
is what makes it.
Oh.
Up against the 16 seed.
Richard, have you ever heard of Brazzers?
No.
The 8 seed in the troubling region.
You know, maybe they can go pee on each other. That'd be great.
Up against the 9 seed.
Sit, you stink.
Wow, that's a good 9.
Wow, that's
think about that matchup of Don talking about bathroom activities in both drops.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Where's McNutt's drop? That should be in this too.
That's right. We go to the nether region.
This
the 1
is
seed.
college football.
This might take the crown. Wait for the music.
Excuse me, this is college football on ESPN Radio. Oh, my God.
That could be our winner right there.
I'm telling you, I can't. This is giving like Lou Alcindor UCLA vibes, man.
It's
how
so
are you
special.
beating this team? It's going to take a epic upset.
That's a very, very special drop.
Like they're ready.
The
for
number
the
1
tournament.
seed is up against the great Joe Namath.
John, Peter, thank you. Alan, I hope you make the team.
It's just cool that we have Namath in Drop Madness. I don't think we ever have.
Of course.
Here's a great one, guys. I believe this is the tightest matchup of the day, perhaps. The 8 seed.
2 beautiful women died. I'll give you them quickly.
Up against the 9 seed.
Another good 8-9.
I think it's
That's
a tough
really
day for
good
Richard.
9.
That's a tough day for Richard, but very excited to see what you guys do. Go on our Twitter page, ESPN New York. Plus, we'll all repost it right now. I'm going to go there and do it as we speak.
Now. A lot of votes already, man.
Good.
And make sure you vote early and often. We want to see record numbers for Drop Madness.
Because think of I just thought about the famous people. You got Namath, right?
Yep.
Monica McNutt.
Yep.
Sure.
Ben Stiller.
Yep.
Anybody else I'm missing?
Paul Heyman.
And I also just led you guys the wrong way, didn't I? Yes. It's DHR on ESPN. It's not the ESPN New York page. It's the DHR on
Dear
ESPN
Heavenly Father
page.
above, please.
Can we just,
I'm so
honestly.
sorry.
On this, the holiest of days.
The
holiest
the Feast
of
of
days.
St. Joseph, and you're not going to get this right? On the
I was
Feast
thinking
of
more
St.
about
Joseph.
I'm reposting them all. I'm reposting them all right now.
All right.
I tell you, Garland, looking at because we're getting a tremendous reaction here.
I would hope so.
What do you think the biggest blowout is so far?
The first one. Don jumping into 25.
Yep,
25 a month.
that so far is the biggest. 88-12.
Yeah, that's got to be that and Carlin are really going to be tough to beat. They might go chalk all the way to the
Let's see if any upsets are brewing.
Don interrupts.
While you're doing that, there is something interesting that I know Peter would love to hear. As I'm looking at scores right now.
Oh, Duke down.
Siena 22, Duke 16.
Oh,
all right. Listen,
relax
you guys know
right?
I have some very strict rules about how I root for upsets.
Who saw this coming?
In the first half, I have fun. In the first half, it's a good time.
Right.
The check-in for me is the under 16 timeout in the second half. If we get to that under 16 and the 16 or 15 seed, because I'm talking about the really big ones, if they're still tied down 2, down 3, up 2, then I start to lean in a little bit.
I like where your head's at, because when I was at Sports Phone, the rule was, because it was an AP rule, maybe Alan knows this, you do not start notifying the public or the different wire services that there is a no-hit or a perfect game until you're through 5. What you think about it, that's somewhat early. That's kind of around.
Still a lot of time.
Right, and that's kind of where Peter's at. The 16 timeout in the second half.
Yeah, it's still relatively early in the second half, but you're in the second half.
But it's time to be on alert. Now it's time to pay attention.
Well,
for example,
what if I told you it's now a 10-point Siena lead?
That starts to make you.
We're halfway through the first half.
You just won your bet then. That's what that means.
Yeah.
Peter's been reading that.
That's right. You could have already won a bet if you had that.
If you bet money line before the game started on Siena, you get the odds if they were up by 10. So if you bet Siena, you won, and that's great if you're listening to Peter's FanDuel.
That's right. You better be paying attention to those FanDuels / local, I might add. But for example, I picked High Point which I have a bit of an emotional connection to. I picked High Point to win an upset,
and they were
seconds. They were seconds ago. High Point. Okay, seconds ago. They were. It was a tied game. I blinked. My DirecTV got behind. I dragged it forward 3 minutes, and they were down 8. So you just never know with these sort of upset
They're right
games,
there. It's a 6-point game right now. We're keeping an eye on all this stuff for you as March Madness begins. We have all this. We have Drop Madness for you. The Howie Rose of it all. If you have a memory or two, or just again want to just shout out Howie Rose and let him know how you feel, you can certainly do that too, because the phone lines are certainly open. It has been a busy call week for us on the show. 800-919-3776, and also some very, very interesting and concerning NBA news that if you're a Knicks fan, it all of a sudden raises your eyebrows once again to say, is this really the year? So we have a lot to get to. Don is back with us, the most important part of the show so far. So we'll get to your calls and more. Stay with us. Don, Hahn, Rosenberg, ESPN New York.
5th-seeded St. John's kicks off their March Madness tournament in San Diego against 12th-seeded Northern Iowa. Coverage begins Friday at 7 on 1050 ESPN.
Hey fans, come out to Yankee Stadium on Friday, April 17th when the Yankees host the Royals, and be ready to receive a Yankees promotional giveaway that has become a fan favorite. It's Yankees Hockey Jersey Night, presented by StubHub. The first 18,000 guests in attendance will receive a Yankees hockey jersey. For tickets, log on to Yankees.com/tickets. Again, don't miss the Yankees and Royals for Yankees Hockey Jersey Night, presented by StubHub on Friday, April 17th. Visit Yankees.com/tickets today.
Hi, this is John D'Agostino from D'Agostino & Associates, the injury firm. I've talked about how a construction accident took my father's leg. The heavy prosthetic he wore looked nothing like the high-tech limbs we have today. It was crude wood and metal, held together by bolts that dug into his skin and left painful ulcers. But the thing I remember about my dad is how he never complained. He put on his prosthetic leg and he went to work. He coached my baseball teams, danced, sang karaoke, and even loved to travel. He may have limped, but he always held his head up high and he lived with dignity. At D'Agostino & Associates, I spent over 35 years building a law firm that helps accident victims and those in need of their Social Security disability benefits. We fight till our clients get the money and dignity they deserve. So call us today at 1-800-BITE-BACK. That's 1-800-248-3222. We have offices throughout New York and New Jersey. So don't tell me personal injuries aren't personal. I know what they can cost a family. I've been there, and I'll be there for you. D'Agostino Law. Bite back.
Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today. 1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Ready to get rid of that old car? Donate it to Cars for Kids. Call 877-CARS-4-KIDS to speak to a friendly live agent. Donation is super easy, and your car can be picked up as soon as tomorrow. Go to carsforkids.org now or call 877-CARS-4-KIDS to donate your car today.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids.
Did you know you can donate real estate too? Go to carsforkids.org. That's cars with a K.
Now it's time for traffic with Susie Cerrone.
Hey guys, good afternoon. Forget about the inbound Lincoln Tunnel. It is currently closed. That is due to a car fire in the South Tube. It's a 40-minute delay sitting in front of the Lincoln. Stick with the Holland or the George, but on the George, it's right lane road work on either deck. A flipped over car on the Grand Central Eastman at Francis Lewis Boulevard, one lane out on the Grand Central. Stall on the LIE, it's westbound at 80th Street in the left lane. You're backed up from Main Street. Cross Island southbound to head down to Belmont. That's a 15-minute travel time. We're sponsored by Unbound.org. The girl in Kenya dreams of becoming a doctor. Reach out, change her world. It'll change your own. Unbound.org. I'm Susie Cerrone for 880 ESPN New York.
Monkey Sports, built by players for players, is your one-stop shop for hockey, baseball, lacrosse, and more. Find top-name equipment and expert in-store services like sharpening, break-ins, and relacing. Shop in-store at Monkey Sports in Farmingdale or Woodbridge, or online for all the top brands. Whatever your sports, Monkey Sports gets you game ready fast. Monkey Sports, where athletes shop.
Evan Cohen here. In life, as in sports, the pros make it look easy. That's why pro golfers like Jason Day, Ben Griffin, and Patton Kazire trust the pros in lawn care. True Green. They have the experience and expertise to give you a lawn worthy of the PGA Tour. And since True Green does the work for you, you get more free time, or more tee times. So stop stressing over your lawn and start loving it. Sign up now at TrueGreen.com, because nobody makes it easier to get a golf course quality lawn than True Green, the official lawn care treatment provider of the PGA Tour.
A SoFi personal loan is here to help you achieve something once thought impossible: overcoming high-interest credit card debt. Walk the tightrope of your finances with one low, fixed-rate monthly payment, no fees required, and as soon as the same-day funding. That's right. Pull off your own debt-defying stunt with a SoFi personal loan. Visit SoFi.com/trick to learn more. Loans originated by SoFi Bank, N.A., member FDIC. Terms and conditions apply. NMLS 696891.
Oh, I see what you're doing. Little Sir Duke as the number 1 seed right now. The Duke Blue Devils. The East number 1 seed. They right now are playing Siena. That's a New York school to you and me.
Where's Siena again?
It's close
Siena
to Buffalo,
is
right?
Up near Buffalo, yeah.
So
New York State.
So I'm surprised we're not opening with it.
Yeah. Well, no, I think in Toronto they are, though, because, you know, in Buffalo. They love them some Toronto, and Toronto loves them some Buffalo. But it's still, just keep an eye on it. Peter's strategy tells us it's too soon to call it something that is a upset watch.
Call it anything.
You don't want to call it anything? At 31-22, it's not nothing.
Wait, Anthony, it was 205 to 1. What was that, Anthony?
That is going to be the channel that's going to get you your quad box.
Oh, thank you, my friend. Wow, what a guy. I'm saying it's too soon to call it anything right now. It's just
you don't think it's too soon to say just this is something to just keep an eye on?
It's something fun. If you're a Duke-hater, this is a fun thing to pay attention to.
You want to enjoy this?
No, listen.
And it's Siena. I mean, there's a lot of people in the New York tri-state area that have their kids that go to Siena or went to Siena. You know?
Yeah, sure. No, listen.
I'm serious.
I'll just tell you this.
All right.
If this game, I just said this to Anthony. If this, the best news for anyone listening is, if this were to continue, like down to the final 5 minutes, I just want everybody to know, I want my bosses to know, I will risk it all and basically do play-by-play. I just want everyone to know that's happening.
I'm into it. All right.
Now
I'm rooting hard for this.
I mean, come on. If Peter Rosenberg, famed Duke hater, in some circles I'm more famous for my Duke hate than anything else. If we have the opportunity to see them really in trouble as a 1 seed, it's taking over the show. It'll be epic if we're there.
Well, I already
Go ahead.
I already got a text from an old friend of mine who sent it with the screenshot of the game saying this could be epic. So there's people that are already
Ballard sent
excited.
the same thing.
It's
happening.
It's way too early. They're going to win by 12.
Way too early. Calm down.
Would you win by 12, Don's predicting?
I said 20, but 12 sounds even better.
Oh, I thought you said 12. Okay.
No,
so
they'll be up by 12 at the half.
They'll be up at 12 at the half. There's 6:36 to go, and they're down 9.
Well, you'll see.
All right.
You know what though? I'm done talking about it, and now I'm going to really pull up this game.
And
because sometimes what it looks like matters. I mean, there are 15s and 16s you'll see up by 10 points, but every possession you can see the struggle. And then you turn on a 15 and 16 the last few years, like UMBC, for example, some of the other big ones, and you go, oh, they're not intimidated at all. They just bought in.
Mm-hmm. And sometimes
now what would make me happier is the question. Siena winning or LIU winning tomorrow, Don? I know how Allen feels, obviously, but for me,
Fins up.
This would be it. Both would be
That's the battle
so
of the
good.
iced teas, Long Island versus Arizona.
Come on, we got a dog in the fight, though, Peter.
What'd you say?
We got a dog in the fight. Rod Strickland appeared at
I know,
a
it's our
remote
guy.
NE studio.
And he promised.
That's got to be. Come on.
I know, but Duke losing for me is a dog. Like it is a thing for me.
And
I don't even know. I don't even know this Duke team. I don't even know them, and I still
it'll blow up a ton of brackets.
Yeah,
too.
there's nothing to hate there yet, right? There's no.
Well, I don't know.
flag
Cam
on this
Boozer,
team.
I probably hate him.
Well,
you probably didn't like his dad.
That's exactly right.
I believe, if I'm not mistaken, I think Cam was named after Cameron Indoor Stadium.
Oh God!
God, there you go. Be right
that
there,
is
right?
so putrid.
That might not be accurate at all, but because again,
it sounds
close,
great.
It sounds great.
Played there, and I think I like it, so I'm going to go with it.
Dude, High Point fought to make it High Point fighting back to a 2-point game again.
All right, so let's update. So that's a 12-5. We always know those are the ones that just you never know. And Wisconsin, it looked like they were pulling away from High Point, but now it's a 2-point game. Now you've got it on.
No, sorry, that was a Duke. That was a Siena jam put back to go up 11 on Duke.
Yeah,
I'm all over it, guys. I might be back in on the tourney.
How's Don's prediction looking? But High Point's within 2, 3.5.
Yeah, I got to go back to High Point
here. We're in a TV timeout. But earlier already, an 8-9 game, Ohio State's out. TCU knocks them off 66-64. So there's one of the. That's not really an upset, but it's still a lower seed winning.
And a smaller program winning, and
TCU,
sending home a blue
Christian,
blood.
Yeah, the good team. And Nebraska, who has I heard this and I can't believe it. Nebraska's never won a tournament game.
That's crazy.
This is their first ever. Like, this is Nebraska. Now, I know it's not football.
I know, but
Nebraska's been around forever. They've never won a tournament. This is their first tournament win. They win 76-47 over Troy. So it took that kind of a matchup where they were a 4 seed, but they finally get that win. Louisville and South Florida are at it right now. Louisville's the 6 seed, South Florida 11. It's 77-70 Louisville. So we're just keeping an eye on all this stuff. And how about this? Another 5-12. Vanderbilt and McNeese. Again,
McNeese
ridiculously
up 9.
early, but 21-12 McNeese. We get excited this time because the upsets are fun until you realize it just blew your bracket
Well,
to hell.
here's the thing, though. Here's the thing.
So
what you want is, like, over the past few years, what's taken me out is not only that Maryland stinks and that conference, rivalries aren't the same, and all of those things are factors. But what you also need is on Thursday and Friday, but particularly Thursday, you need some of these wacky games to actually turn out wacky. When they all end up landing chalk, you end up feeling completely let down by day one.
Well,
Give us one of these, to be one or two to be awesome.
And this is a tournament update, by the way, brought to you by Schweppes. Go ahead,
well,
Don.
there you go.
Good job.
See, this Thursday and Friday is so special because you really don't have to know anything. It's really not that important to know. Because I always felt the fraudulency of, we don't talk about college basketball all year. Then all of a sudden the tournament starts and we're taking calls and we're making predictions. Stop it. I'm not into it in that fashion. But to see upsets, to see games in the afternoon, and I've been saying it for years, it is the only sporting event where it decreases in interest as it goes on. Like, the best days are Thursday and Friday, and as teams begin eliminated and brackets get blown up, then it becomes about real basketball. The diehards love it because the games become more important and a championship's on the line. But for people like me, I'm out. If my bracket's busted and now there's less interest and all the games are on at night and there's only a couple of them, but today and tomorrow, it's a sports fan's dream just to see these games and these upsets.
Would you tell me?
And you don't need to know anything.
Would you say, Donnie, it's basically as weird as it sounds because it's not in the same realm, but when it comes to interest from everyone, are Thursday and Friday first round of the NCAA tournament similar to the Super Bowl.
In terms of what?
In terms
it draws everyone in, you mean?
Everyone's drawn in and paying attention, and you don't have to know a damn thing about it to just be drawn in and interested and have a rooting interest because it's an event. And then once all that stuff goes away, then it becomes more about the sport. It's almost like you go backwards. Super Bowl to the championship game becomes more about football, and that's like the real game. Would you say it's kind of the reverse of the football playoffs? Does that
but
make
in
sense?
a way,
I mean, from a mental standpoint, from fans,
true, but from an interest level. But the thing about nobody's watching for the commercials. They're watching because it's sports. It's interesting. It's competitive. It's fun.
Right.
Like there's interest in the Super Bowl, and because the people are watching for the commercials or they're checking different things out. Like maybe they're not as into the competition. I think people watching this are into the competition. You don't need to know the players or the backstory. It's competitive games. And once you find out, hey, a 16's pushing a 1, do you really need to know anything else but that to get drawn in, to feel the interest in that? I mean, you had me at hello at that point. Once you get upset. I always thought, wouldn't it be awesome? And I don't even know it's logistically possible. But if the NHL or NBA did this just for day one of the playoffs, every game is played, and you have it from the afternoon until late at night.
I love it.
Here's our playoffs, guys, right here. Starts today. We'll go back to every other day off. We'll go back to the regular times and all that.
Everybody starts on the same day.
Everybody starts on this. Tuesday, we got games from 11 a.m. right up until 11 at night. Everybody's playing.
How do we
get in? I think that I think people would go nuts. Gary's so concerned about the first round has to be interesting, so let's have divisional matchups. I think that would get everybody in, and then maybe you keep them for the rest of the playoffs because they're just so involved in this absolute madness. Imagine the NBA, all these games in one day. Wake up at 11 o'clock in the morning, games 11. You go nuts.
I love this idea on many levels because, look, your top seeds in the East and the West are going to play the worst seed, right? And while the top seed's always the big draw team, those matchups suck. Those first rounds are never good. So that's the team you play at 11 o'clock.
Right.
And why do you do it? I know people are watching because it's the Thunder or it's the Celtics or whatever it's going to be. But I also know that it does set up to a little bit of at least a game one potential upset because it's a weird time to play that game.
No, you're right.
So it draws you in. And then your 4-5 game, that's your late game.
Right, that's the late game.
Because it's still a good team or marquee teams, but you also know that's going to be the most competitive. I think it's a great idea.
If you got, and on the NHL side of things, if you got, I don't know, an Ottawa-Tampa matchup in the first round, whatever.
Yeah.
Somebody might not watch that if it's at 7 o'clock, but you put it on 11, 12 in the afternoon, all of a sudden there's little bit of interest because there's what else is on. Let's watch it. It's interesting. We saw that during COVID, right? Remember, Peter? We'd have games in the middle of the day.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden there's interest because I never see a game at 3 o'clock in the afternoon. Oh, let's have that.
They had one court. They had to do it that way.
Baseball, it doesn't matter because it's not crazy to see games in the afternoon. But an NBA game or an NHL game being played at noon.
That's a good idea.
Listen, they will never do it because it would affect attendance. But if you just had if you built it up,
just one day,
and talked about just the one day, everybody's playing. It'd be madness.
It's such a great idea. It really is. Would you watch that? Would you pay attention to that? 800-919-3776. Speaking of NBA, we'll get into that stuff in the 4 o'clock hour. Some huge news in the NBA earlier today that really could shake the East and could change perspective once again on who can make it out of the East. That was, by the way, a tournament update presented by Schweppes. Schweppes delivers above-the-rim refreshment. Feel the madness and refresh your game with a Schweppes Seltzer or Schweppes Ginger Ale. The latest update on Duke, by the way, as we are under 2 minutes to go in the half, is Siena by 11. They just scored 43-32. And with under a minute to go, High Point is within 1. It's Wisconsin 82, High Point 81. That's a 5-12.
Now they're fighting, man. They're fighting.
They were just go into a
They were
timeout.
down 4. They were down 4. Hit a 3 to cut it to 1. I think they just turned over Wisconsin. They're fighting right now, man.
Yeah. So we'll keep you certainly updated on all of that and more. Your call is a big part of it as well. But as you know, guys, I've talked so much about my favorite new partner, Rings End. And they're going to have work done at the house. They're going to come. They have to get all the measurements done and everything else. That's coming up in a couple of weeks, and then we'll get right down to it. I can't wait to start ripping walls down, opening up holes to put in a window. I love it when the house is a mess like that. Do you? It's all about that. But what I also love is working with somebody I can trust, and that's Rings End. They work with pro contractors who build and remodel for a living. So if the pros trust them, how can I not trust them? You certainly can too. They have premium brands in windows, doors, decking, paint, lumbers, kitchens, all of the things you would need to do remodeling in your house. Built to last high-end product lines that contractors rely on. They do it right. They don't do it over. They're not a national chain now. They have regional expertise. 8 full-service lumber yards in Connecticut and Westchester County and 12 freestanding paint centers. So Rings End is family-owned and operated since 1902, 124 years in business with deep Northeast roots. They know your area. They know your house, the way it's built, the style, what it needs in this area as well. And most importantly, they support local builders and communities. And if you can't make it to a store, just shop online at ringsend.com. That's ringsend.com.
5th-seeded St. John's kicks off their March Madness tournament in San Diego against 12th-seeded Northern Iowa. Coverage begins Friday at 7 on 1050 ESPN.
March is here, and the madness is underway. Schweppes offers above-the-rim refreshment and is proud to sponsor the Big East Conference. Take a break from the action with a Schweppes Seltzer. Enjoy 7 refreshing flavors, such as black cherry, lemon lime, cranberry lime, and strawberry mango. Each Schweppes Seltzer flavor provides a perfect touch for any occasion. Schweppes, a sparkling tradition since 1783, and the perfect way to elevate your everyday refreshment. Stop by your local food bazaar to get your favorite Schweppes Seltzer for a slam dunk experience.
There's a lot of reasons why people buy at Ramsey Mazda. It's their selection, it's their customer service, and it's their savings. Lease a new 2026 Mazda CX-30 2.5S preferred all-wheel drive for just $219 for 36 months. Start shopping now at RamseyMazda.com. Choose wisely. Choose Ramsey Mazda. Call 833-853-2970 for details. VIN TM108368. MSRP $31,435. Zero security deposit. Ends 3/31/26.
Listen, I know the mentality. You try to play through pain and walk it off. Push through one more day. But when it comes to neck pain, back pain, sciatica, or nerve pain, that's a losing game. That's when you call Dr. J. Shaw at Sandwell Pain. Dr. Shaw is one of New Jersey's top pain specialists, Ivy League trained, double board certified, and he focuses on non-surgical solutions that get real results. No cuts, no downtime, no dependence on pain meds. He builds you a custom game plan for you so that you can move better, feel better, and live pain-free. Same day or next day appointments are available. Visit SandwellPain.com. Stop managing pain. Start beating it.
25 a month, 5 whole years. Same sweet number in your ears. Check it in a year, check it in 5. This ain't optimum 5, but price is still alive. 25 a month, 5 whole years. Same sweet number in your ears.
Get Optimum famously fast fiber internet. Optimum.com/25 for 5. Or call 8884-OPTIMUM.
Terms apply. See Optimum.com for details.
I'm Boomer Esiason. My mom died from cancer. She was only 37 years old. She didn't have life insurance, and that was devastating for my family. That's why having life insurance is so important to me. Ethos makes it fast and easy. Get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. You can get up to $3 million in coverage with no medical exam.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/play. That's ethos.com/play. Paid spokesperson. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
During Lowe's Pro Savings Days, the job works in your favor. My Lowe's Pro Rewards members buy more and save more on materials they rely on every day. Get up to 25% off select molding when you spend $1,000 or more, and up to 25% off Pergo Evercraft laminate flooring. Put Pro Savings Days to work for you. Members get more at Lowe's. Valid through 3/27. Selection varies by location. While supplies last. Loyalty program subject to terms and conditions. Visit the Pro Desk or Lowe's.com/terms for more details. Subject to change.
ESPN New York is teaming up with Calandra's Bakery to give you the chance to win a pair of tickets to see New York take on Charlotte Sunday, April 12th at Madison Square Garden. Entering is easy. Stop by Calandra's Bakery on Bloomfield Avenue in Caldwell, New Jersey anytime between March 4th and April 7th to enter in person. Full details and contest rules are on the ESPN New York app. Don't miss your shot to be there live. Brought to you by Calandra's Bakery in Caldwell, home of fresh-baked classic Italian pastries and traditions baked daily.
Long Island is more exciting than ever at Jake's 58 Casino Hotel. This month, you'll be feeling March magic when you win your share of $50,000 cash during our Rainbow Riches drawing. Be here every Wednesday in March from 2 to 7 p.m. Each hour, one lucky guest is drawn to win up to $5,000 cash. Earn entry starting at 12:30 p.m. Come chase the rainbow every Wednesday in March, where Long Island wins at Jake's 58 Casino Hotel.
If gambling is a problem for you or someone you care about, please call the 24-hour toll-free helpline at 1-877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY.
Okay.
Yeah. You want to update it, Peter? Because you're feeling. I can tell you're feeling it now. You're feeling something.
So yeah, listen. I'm connected to High Point. My ex-brother-in-law who passed away back in 2011, Spencer, R.I.P. He was a freshman at High Point. So I walk around with this High Point keychain to this day, and obviously I have a sweet spot in my heart because it's where my boy went. And so I saw they're in the tournament. I'm like, why not? Let's go down with number 12, and they come up with the key block late. And it looks like High Point's going to hold on for the first 12-5 upset potentially of this tournament. Now, I'm guessing I'm behind you, Alan.
Why?
For me, there's 1.6 seconds left.
Yeah, no,
Where are you at?
it's not over. Yeah, no, I have one.
Well, they had a time.
Left.
It's 2.1 now.
Oh, they
now
had
it's
time.
Wait a minute. Now it's 1.8.
It's a Charger now.
It's a Ram.
No, I saw it go from 2.1 to 1.8. High Point missed the foul shot.
Now it's 1. They just readjusted the clock.
Right.
So originally it was 1.6, and they moved it to 2.1.
Can we just get
now
it
it's 1.8.
You know?
So we're updated.
But that missed foul shot could be a big deal.
Yeah.
So it's going to come down to this last possession here. But I've got DirecTV, so it's Tuesday, February 12th. So I don't. This game was actually like a Saturday afternoon.
You're watching last year's High Point, Cinderella run.
So now it's 1.4. Can we figure out the time?
No, we
Are
can't.
they calling?
Seriously?
Sounds like they're calling Toronto, Don.
You know what? They're making this out to be the World Baseball Classic here. Like, what's going on here? Do we know? Now it's 1.8 again. What's going on?
Wait, are you being serious?
I'm being serious. Jacob, back me up here.
He's not lying. I'm looking at the score right now. They just moved it.
They keep moving. That was 1.4. Now it's
Listen,
back to 1.8.
that 0.4 of a second. Let's see if that actually matters. All the time they spent 4 minutes deciding over 0.4 seconds.
Oh, this is the Christian Laettner setup here, guys. This is behind their own basket. Oh, this is all happening.
Yeah. Where's Grant Hill?
Oh, dear God.
What do you got?
Oh, that's it. It's over.
No, it's done.
High Point holds on.
That was
pass
a lot.
was basically incomplete.
Wisco.
They tried the to Laettner, but you know what?
Hard. That shows you how great that Laettner play was, though, right? How improbable that play was.
There was a similar one too prior to Laettner. You remember the Tate George Nadav Hennefeld?
Oh, that was huge.
God.
You're right. But the Laettner.
No question.
Yeah.
No, there's no question. It is. But it's the
still,
season of strange polls.
It really might be the Laettner play.
Guys, that's it. High Point 1. I just saw it.
Well, then you are significantly behind. We were just discussing.
By the way, so as we're following all this stuff, again, March Madness, this is what it's all about. With Siena up 11 at the half on Duke, are you guys now following South Florida and Louisville?
We should, right?
Because
it's been interesting.
That's a 4-point game. Now, it feels that there's no time left, right? I got 5 seconds left.
Oh, no,
so that might be
so
it.
arbitrary now.
That might be it. But I'll tell you what, South Florida put up 52 points in the second half to make this thing a game.
Well, I had to flip over to High Point, so I got to go back to.
All right.
See, it can grab 5.2 left, 4-point lead.
Don, you still have DirecTV, right?
I still have DirecTV.
250-1.
Thank you.
Yeah, it didn't work for me, Anthony, on my.
That's what I trusted the Google machine. My mistake.
It's set up like the Leitner play, but the pass was basically incomplete. High Point was able to intercept the pass, and that was it. And we do have a final with Louisville winning by 4.
Okay.
But the Leitner play to me is one of the greatest, if not the greatest play that I saw live to end a game. Basically, for all the reasons you said, the pass, the step back, the shot, all net.
Yeah.
How calm Leitner was. Like, how can you be that calm in that moment? Like, it is amazing to me. And then, here's Rick Pitino still in the tournament, right? Many, many years later. Because what was that, 92? So, 30-something years later. But just the calmness in which he took that shot. It's one of the most incredible things I ever saw. At the Spectrum, right, Alan?
Yes. Yeah, the old Spectrum in Philadelphia. And it's one of the most iconic plays in the history of the tournament. And there's been, obviously, the Villanova shot, too, right? That slingshot play to win the championship after the against North Carolina. That's one of those unbelievable plays on a game-winning shot. And that was to win the whole damn thing. But that's what you love about this time of year. Not just upsets that happen, which can happen, but moments where moment of truth shots that go down. Suggs for Gonzaga. You remember that one? In the semifinal. There's just great moments throughout the tournament, and especially when it's Cinderella's, and that's what's going on right here. That's why we love this tournament at this time of year, because we don't know everything about college basketball. We aren't experts at it, but it is something that is worth following. And as we go along, by the time you get to a Final Four or a championship, it's been chalk a lot lately, the last couple of years. And it feels like there was a time when there were a lot of one-and-dones that a team, the Blue Bloods who did the one-and-done thing, maybe you wouldn't have great chemistry because you have so many guys that I'm going to be here for, one semester basically, right? They don't have a lot of time. And then some of these mid-majors have had guys together for 3 years, 4 years. They have chemistry. They're older, stronger, and then you can get more upsets. But I think in the NIL what we're seeing is those mid-major veterans are now getting one-year contracts, literally, to go to the Blue Bloods, to give them some stability to go around some of the young talent, and you're not seeing as many of the upsets like you used to.
Yeah, but you just see a 16 up by 11 going into the half, or the story great. Peter just told where, there was a connection to High Point. It makes it fun.
It certainly does. Hey, subscribe to ESPN New York on YouTube. Stream the full Weekday Lineup live. You can watch complete replays of the shows or catch up fast with can't-miss highlights. Jump into the live chat. Like we all say hello to everybody in the live chat as always. You can react in real time. Make your voice part of the show. Subscribe to ESPN New York on YouTube now. Stay locked in so you never miss a moment. Coming up in the NBA, there was a moment this morning where everybody kind of just gasped when they saw the news about Kade Cunningham.
Some may have celebrated. Well, I hate to say it. Not the news. Sorry. The result of the news for the Knicks.
But this news of him, depending on how much time he's going to miss, has one of these feelings of a season of the East continues to beg the Knicks to walk through the door. So can they? So we'll give you the details on the injury, how long the Pistons could be out with their most important player, and the impact it can have on the East going forward. 800-919-3776 is the number to call in and join the conversation. Don Hahn Rosenberg, ESPN New York.
Hi, I'm John D'Agostino from D'Agostino & Associates, the injury firm. You know what's interesting about the words personal injury? The first word is person. And at D'Agostino & Associates, that word means everything. That's because I handpick every person in our firm, from the pleasant professional person who answers your call to the experienced person litigating your case in court. Because every person in my firm is an extension of me, and the only way to exceed our clients' expectations is to deliver the highest level of personal service every single time. And that starts with hiring the right people. You see, we know that every client is a person too. Someone going through the toughest time in their lives and deserves to be more than just a file number. At D'Agostino & Associates, we put the person back in personal injury. So call 1-800-BITE-BACK. That's 1-800-248-3222 and ask for me, John D'Agostino. And let's talk about your case, person to person. D'Agostino Law Bite back.
It's about time delivery worked on your schedule. Same day, next day, or scheduled in advance. However you plan it, the Home Depot delivers the whole job. From drywall to doors, plumbing to paint, we'll get it there when you need it. Because on the job site, timing is everything. You order, we deliver. It's that easy. The Home Depot Pro. It's about time.
Harry Douglas here. I don't wait for birthdays to celebrate. I grab Confetti Craze 5-Hour Energy. It tastes like rich vanilla birthday cake with buttery funfetti goodness. Seriously, it's unapologetically extra in the best way. And it's sugar-free, so I get all that cake flavor without the guilt. It's tiny, portable, and ready for whenever I need a quick boost. I keep one with me because you never know when you'll need a little party energy. The funfetti flavor is back on 5hourenergy.com or on Amazon. Crack open a Confetti Craze 5-Hour Energy shot today.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-6759. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-6759. That's 800-575-6759. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
ESPN New York. Now streaming live on YouTube. Subscribe today and watch the show. WHSQ and WCBS FM HD2 New York.
401 in the big city, as Don LaGreca would say, with Don LaGreca and Peter Rosenberg. I'm Alan Hahn. Don, yes, back with us.
Yes.
How you feeling, by the way? That's a good hour for you.
Oh, well, how am I sounding? I guess that's more the question, because that's
Peter,
really
would you
all
say
that's
less
left.
nasally?
Oh, well, then when I heard him a couple of days ago on the phone, absolutely.
The phone the other day was rough.
Very troubling.
But
even Monday.
I'm better.
Wasn't Monday a little like...
Monday I wasn't good.
No.
And so feeling much better.
Good.
But unfortunately, from a Devils perspective, we had to make a call last night on whether I was going to go to Washington or not.
Right.
Because the chain of command is that Matty Lachlan, who does the radio, is going to fill in for me on TV if I couldn't go.
Mm-hmm.
And then Matty's backup, Sam, would then have to go on the trip. And because they were leaving at 12:30, the Devils wanted to know, okay, are we bringing the extra body or not? Because I wasn't going to go with them. I was going to just take the train tomorrow morning to Washington and come back. So they wanted to make the call, and I wasn't comfortable. Because I'm fine now and I'm working from home, but I'm sure I'm contagious, and I don't want to get everybody sick. And I hate missing games, but
especially since you haven't had a chance to call many of them since the
and listen, they're playing well, and all of a sudden scoring goals. It might be meaningless, but it's still fun to call these games down the stretch. And I saw something just a second ago that I don't know how to feel about it.
Uh-oh.
All right, let's talk. Can we talk through it?
Well, let's get to this.
Just for a second. It's not a big deal.
All right.
But so they're coming at a break to go back to the coverage. I'm on TBS now because they're just recapping, what's happening at the half.
They're in the studio. Is that Adam Zucker, or is he on the CBS coverage? That's Zucker with Barkley and Smith and Kellogg?
Yeah.
I know they're on the CBS side of it, but I don't know if TBS picks that up too, or TNT. Turner have their own studio?
Yeah, well, it's whatever. I don't know. I don't even know where I am. I'm flipping around. Like, there's so much going on here. It's crazy. But, so the High Point coach is talking to his team.
Okay.
I'm just trying to see. I want to get everything right here and it's amazing. Like, he's sitting down, he's talking to his team, they're videotaping it, which I don't know how I'd feel about that. They got the camera in there. I get it, and they're videotaping.
They always do that.
That's
now.
been a thing.
Yeah. But it's amazing to me how calm they seemed. Like they're all sitting there listening to him, and then they got up and they were clapping. Like it wasn't overly celebratory, Peter. Like this team may mean business here.
Well, that's the thing about some of these teams. That's what I'm saying. And that's what we'll find out about Siena maybe 10, 12 minutes into the second half. Mm-hmm. You start to figure out, like, wait, is this a team that's, like, messing around and at any moment it bursts? Or is this a team that's the real deal? High point in this game, and we are doing exactly what we mock of pretending that we know what we're talking about. But, hey, basketball's basketball. High point is a team that in the second half ended up down 8 or 9 multiple times and just kept fighting. They believed it the whole game.
It's just impressive. And listen, it's a 12-5. And again, I'm not going to pretend to know a lot about High Point. Listen, Wisconsin's not exactly world beaters. Otherwise, they'd be higher than a 5 seed. But I was just, when I said I don't know how to feel about it, like is this something that I should look at and go, let's take a look at this team? Because they look like they belonged during the game, and the way they were conducting themselves after the game.
Was they weren't surprised?
They did not act as if this was a big deal.
Yeah.
And
we meant to do this. We
knew,
know
at this stage of the season, it's not like they're taking it for granted. Is that I think that the only people that might have been surprised by this were us, and the general public. I think they look like a team that was supposed to do that. That was pretty impressive.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the part. Like I said, the older teams, the teams that have been together for a bunch of years, that kind of know, what they're about. They're the teams that probably go into this thing thinking we can beat these guys. So that's a good story. All right, so we'll keep an eye on all that stuff happening in March Madness in the NCAA tournament. We'll keep you up on all the scores. Again, Siena is up at the half. They should be starting the second half pretty soon, right, guys?
Any moment now.
Any moment. So they're up 11, 43-32. Duke, not big offense in that first half. Something to keep an eye on. We will certainly keep an eye on that. And Vanderbilt up 3 at the half on McNeese. That's the 5-12. McNeese State is the 12 seed. They had an early lead, but now Vandy has a 3-point lead at the half on that. The 2 live games going on right now. But in the NBA, guys, there was this news, and really surprising, and almost like you gasp for a minute as you read it. But a report from Shams that Kade Cunningham, who's really was in for a while the MVP conversation, but he's clearly become one of the top young players in the NBA, leading the Pistons to the number 1 spot in the East for pretty much the entire season. He has been diagnosed with a collapsed lung, and he's expected to miss an extended period of time. How long? Well, they don't know. He's going to be reevaluated in 2 weeks, so that's already 8 games. They have, I think they have like 14 games left. Now, they're running away right now with the East as far as record goes, but they're 3.5 games ahead of Boston, who just refuses to go away. And in fact, now you add Tatum to the mix, and Boston now suddenly feels like a team that you can really believe in. They've become the favorite to come out of the East by a lot of the odds makers. So the only example we have of a collapsed lung for a player in the NBA recently is C.J. McCollum. In one case, his first time around, he missed 6 weeks. And the second time around, he had it a second time, and that was 3 weeks. But so if we're looking at a window of 3 to 6 weeks, it's anywhere from he doesn't play the rest of the regular season to he doesn't play until after the first round of the playoffs. That changes everything, does it not? The Pistons are 49-19, but they don't have him. He's their only real star. Like, he's everything for this team. When you look at that, it feels like there's 2 stories that are going to be the prevailing stories if, let's just do the large if, and we all hope he comes back because you don't want anything compromised. You certainly don't want him to be affected. He's a great player. But there's 2 stories. There's the Knicks finally breaking through, which it feels like this season's one of those where it's like the basketball gods are like, no, seriously, Knicks, this is your year to do something. Or the Boston story, and I know, Peter, this is close to your heart, that Celtics story now suddenly gets bigger and bigger because if they are the team to beat, a Pistons team that is now compromised could open the door for them to get the 1 seed and be the team that now could be the team of destiny with the Tatum story. And what a great story that would be.
Both are very appealing storylines, right? I mean, the Celtics I thought would have a chance to be pesky and problematic without Jason Tatum.
Mm-hmm.
Now they get Tatum back. He looks like Jason Tatum.
Mm-hmm.
And you have a compromised Detroit team. Like this, it really does set the table for a potentially very sexy Knicks-Celtics series. And then you have the Celtics looking for revenge on the Knicks.
Well, that's the other part, right? So these two meet, and rather than meeting in the second round, could they meet in the conference finals if Boston gets the 1 seed? And then you have that ultimate revenge game, the revenge series for Tatum, for Brown, for Mazzulla. You know, like you took from us last year, and we're going to make you pay. That would be ultimate. If you're the NBA, first of all, again, for ratings and all the storylines and everything else, that's all huge.
Yeah.
But this news this late in the season,
it's
earth-shattering.
No, it definitely is, especially, correct me if I'm wrong, Alan, that the last time I think the Pistons played without Cunningham was against the Nets, and they lost.
Yeah, well, he's only played 61 games, which, by the way,
right.
It also can cost him postseason awards with he was going to win.
Yeah, for
but
sure.
Yeah, no, they're not good without. Like,
no,
they have another
listen,
all-star
nobody
in
can
Durham.
lose their best player. That's why what the Celtics did without Tatum was so special.
Well, they had Brown, though. At least you have another All-NBA level guy.
Right. If the Knicks lost Brunson, they'd be in trouble, right?
Big
it's like,
trouble. Yeah.
Even though they've got other players, so you can't lose your best player.
Right.
But I'm interested because you're the one that said it, Alan, so I'm going to throw it back at you. One of the things you loved was that the Knicks now nobody was talking about it. Like, let everybody talk about the Celtics. Let everybody talk about the Pistons. I like that.
Right.
But if Cunningham's going to be out for the rest of the year and things start breaking the Knicks' way, you kind of lose that, don't you? Now people are going to begin to start to talk about you again.
Well,
expectations now go back again.
You're supposed to win.
You're supposed to, or at least supposed to beat the Pistons. And now we'll see what happens with the Celtics the rest of the way. But does this work against them by your theory of, hey, maybe it was better to just be under the radar a little bit?
Yeah. I still think Boston, though, they are the team to beat. As much as Knicks fans got mad at me for saying that on Get Up the other day, national TV, and you're not saying the Knicks are the team to beat, and I'm like, no, because
how
I don't
can you
see
say
it
that
way.
honestly?
Like, how do you know? Exactly. Like, somebody sent me a tweet. A friend of mine was like, Knicks fans are mad at you, and it said we've lost Allen. That's what it said on the tweet. I was like, what do you mean you lost me? I'm giving you an honest opinion. I was asked straight up, are the Boston Celtics the team to beat? Yes, they are in the East because without Tatum, they were still an unreal top 5 defense, top 10 offense. The way they defend, they hit the 3. They're a scary team. Then they add Tatum, and Tatum looks like Tatum, like in small bunches. Now, he's not him yet, but in little pockets, you're like, oh, yeah. He can really help this team. And so they have to be that team. So I'll give it to you guys. Listen, Boston has 13 games left. They are 3.5 games out of first. They still have to play the Thunder. They have to play the Knicks. That's a big game now. That game at the Garden, April 8th, I think it is, Knicks and the Celtics. That could be a very important game. They also have to play Orlando and Miami. That's their toughest game. So there's not a lot of tough games left, but the Thunder one, that's a big one in the Knicks game. Detroit has 14 games left. Now, again, their lead over Boston's 3.5. They still got to play also the Thunder, a Laker team that's won 7 in a row and suddenly figuring things out, an Atlanta team that's won 10 in a row, and Orlando, who's been tough, better late. So without Kade, how do they do in these games? Because a couple of losses for them, Boston could run right by. The Knicks are 5 back of first. But again, they're tied in the win column with Boston. They have 12 games left. They have less games to play, but they also have to play the Thunder. I mentioned the Celtics. Houston, which has been struggling. Atlanta's been hot, as it said. And 2 games against the Hornets that suddenly aren't an easy team anymore. They play hard. They play good. So is opportunity there? I'm thinking 9-3. Like, what do you have to do to make it real if you're the Knicks?
That was very subtle. Very subtle, Jacob, but I, for some reason, think the drop of Allen going, they play hard, they play good, would sound very funny. Don, I could be completely wet on this.
Did I say they play hard, they play good?
You went, they play hard, they play good.
I thought I said
you take that alone, you take that alone, and he goes from Southern Hahn to Caveman Hahn.
What? They play good.
They play hard, they play good.
They play good.
By the way, I just want to let everyone know.
They said they've been playing good, but okay.
Siena didn't come out of the half scared. They don't look as scared. They're up 13 points, baby.
They contest every basket. They're coming to play, man.
We're not at that timeout yet, but we're at that timeout where Peter's about to get naked.
Yeah, I heard that.
Well, I'll say this. I'm extending it. I'm extending it, too.
Sorry?
Listen, excuse me?
Oh, boy. So you get to the under. You get to the under 16, and you're having a conversation.
Ambassador Johnson?
You're up double digits by the 12, and the conversation's getting, like, intense. But,
more
like,
intense than right now?
Well, yes, because the thing is, when you're playing against a team that's this level, like Duke, like we just know it can go away in 90 seconds. Like that's always on the table. So it's not just that they can stick around. Like you have to have a sizable lead late to be one of these teams. You can't truly believe until it's under 5 minutes, honestly. So, but it's starting to get exciting though. Starting to get a feel to it.
No, now we're settling into. As they just
a
missed
Duke comeback
dunk,
story.
But they missed 2 dunks in a row.
You don't like
Siena,
that.
so you don't like that. And then Duke comes back and they finish the dunk. So we'll see if this is a turning point 3 minutes into the second half.
How do you miss 2 dunks?
But I do think.
Oh, I can tell you how.
But I do.
Well, that's
think
different, Alan. You can barely get that.
We're settling into this being at least competitive the rest of the way.
Don. Don, I just saw the first missed dunk. Hold, let me see the second one.
The second one's not nearly as bad.
No, the first one is straight up it just horrifying. Like you can't have it happen.
And now they follow a possession with an air ball. So now keep an eye. I said it at 17 minutes. We'll see if that sequence is the turning point.
And then let Duke come back, hit a couple of threes. Now it's like, it's 8 or whatever it is. And before you know it can get burned.
Now looking at the Pistons' schedule, Alan, very easy.
Yeah, I read you the games that were the tough games, but everybody has a mostly easy schedule remaining.
But what does it look like without Cunningham? Like I mentioned, they lost to the Nets the other day without him. Now, again, they probably didn't feel the pressure they're going to feel right now, knowing that he's not coming back until the playoffs most likely. So will they play with a little bit more of a sense of urgency? But it definitely makes the rest of the regular season very interesting.
Yeah, when he's missed games, they're 5-2.
Right, but like I said, the loss to the Nets, who were trying not to win.
Yeah,
that was disturbing.
Right.
Didn't they blow like a 16-point lead in that game too?
Yeah. They looked like they were going to win that game, and then that's just unlike last night. Which, my word, that game.
We're going to get to this at some point, but like last night is everything we were talking about with the tanking. Last night was like the day when they present something at the end of the season, they're going to show video of last night.
All those games. All those.
How many of them?
There were several. The last 2 nights. The last 2 nights were pretty pathetic.
And it's going to continue, right? I mean, I would think we're going to see more of them.
Yeah, we got to talk about how do we fix it, because it really is. And there are some ideas, and it is something that we could certainly get to, coming up throughout the show. But just in general, though, the Knicks don't play again. They're off tonight, so they don't play till tomorrow against, by the way, the Nets. They'll be in Brooklyn. And, the last time they played the Nets, they held them to 6. Didn't they win by 52 points, whatever it was?
Right, yeah.
Like it was an embarrassing game. Now, if you're the Knicks, you're playing a soft part of your schedule. They're 4-0 through a 7-game stretch. I probably have said this before, but they're in a 7-game stretch right now where they're playing all teams with a losing record.
So what do we call it? Because you called the gauntlet with all the tough teams. What do you call this?
What would you call it?
I don't know.
You got to come up with a new name, though. It can't be the gauntlet again.
Well, what's the opposite of a gauntlet?
What's the opposite of gauntlet? Toilet?
A schmauntlet. Toilet.
The commode. It's the commode.
I like
that. This is the commode. But this is the bathroom break, right? The 7-game bathroom break. That's what you've got right now. But they really are. They're playing. So after this, I think Sunday's the Wizards, Tuesday's the Pelicans.
Oh dear God.
Oh yeah, no. It's so they're 4-0 through it. You gotta. I almost feel like, I know this sounds greedy. You might need to go 7-0. Like you probably have no excuse to lose any of these games.
Well, just go down the line, and what your reaction would be if you watch them lose to the team. If you lose to the Wizards, you're destroyed.
They were getting smoked by the Utah Jazz in the first half by 18. They had to come back to win that one. They were getting smoked by the Warriors on Sunday night, down by 21. They had to come back in that one.
Right.
So we've already had moments watching the game going, oh my God, are they going to lose? Are they really losing this game?
But they didn't.
They didn't.
But I'm saying if
they
lose to the Wizards, or like the next, we're killing them, right? They lose to the Pelicans, we're killing them.
Yeah. So you got again. All right. So the Nets, they just zero.
They never lose to the Nets.
Right. They have what is it now? 14, 13 in a row, whatever it is. And there's no excuse in this game. Wizards Sunday.
You're killing them if they lose.
How do you not?
Can't.
Okay.
These teams don't want to win.
Pelicans, another team that they don't want to win. They're coming to New York. There's no excuse. I know it's Zion and all that stuff, but there's just zero reason that you're losing this game. Then after that is when it gets real. That's why I think you got to make a run through these games and win. The worst you could do is 6-1, in my opinion, because it's a Hornets team in Charlotte where normally you have all your fans. That things have changed there. They play hard. They do good. But really, they're running teams off the floor with their offense, and they're a better defensive team.
Did you hear Boston Hahn there for a second?
They play hard.
Yeah, they're a little.
He said something about they play there. They play there.
They play hard.
I get the one thing I'll say what you want about Peter.
Yeah.
The one thing he does well is he can sniff out a drop.
Thank you. I don't know if you did say the one thing. I don't.
No. When I'm
the only.
I know you're talented.
Yeah.
I'm just saying you can't. That can't be debated. Like that.
Like you're in your
say what you want.
This is in your skill set.
Say what you want.
Like the person that hates you wants you to die, wants you to spontaneously combust in front of them.
But if they needed
they
a drop,
have a pail of water and pour it over themselves. That's how much they hate you.
Right.
They would have to say, you know what, the guy could pick out a drop. I'll tell you.
Yeah. If they needed a drop, they'd still go to you.
That's
no
great.
How
and
much
half
they
the people,
hate
and the other half of the people go, "What the hell's a drop?"
But after this 7-game toilet run, it's at Charlotte, at Oklahoma City, at Houston, and then it softens up a little bit again before it finishes up not so easy. So you get two little reprieves, Memphis and Chicago. Then Atlanta, Boston, Toronto, Charlotte. So that's why this is it right now. Like, you got to make hay, win these games, and see if you can put yourself in a position. But I'm just talking about playoff-wise. Get into the playoffs. Everybody was saying the Knicks can't beat the Pistons. If Kade Cunningham misses time, or who knows what's going to happen with this and how much it affects the Pistons going forward. But the Pistons, who you were worried about having to play, might not even be in play for you in the playoffs.
That's true. Duke just cut it to 6.
That was that turning point, huh, Don?
I think that was the turning point.
Like
and
missing
it took,
a couple of dunks.
A minute and a half.
And when you got
3.
to the under 16, it was 9, but it didn't feel the same. It didn't.
Yeah,
and then right after the under, and then right when they get to under 16, they hit a 3 to cut it to 6.
I believe
and
it's
6
7,
feels like 0.
Is it 7 straight points for?
Yeah, it was 13. It was 13, I think.
Right. It was. Isn't it 7 straight points for Duke?
And this is when you start to find out: are you like a team that truly believes you can do it, or is the jig up?
Yeah. So we'll certainly keep an eye on
Bricking
that.
a wide open 3 doesn't help.
We have calls to get to at 800-919-3776. And you know what's coming up next, of course. It's That Guy Thursday.
Love it.
Who has that guy? Who has a that guy? Do you have a that guy? 800-919-3776 to be part of that conversation certainly as well. So stay with us. Don Hahn, Rosenberg, ESPN, New York.
Think great meat has to come with a high price? Not at Wild Fork Foods. Get beef tenderloin for only $10 a pound. Yes, $10 a pound. And Atlantic salmon portions just $9.98 a pound. That's awesome quality at a great value for your table. Everything is blast frozen to lock in flavor and nutrients. Shop one of their 7 locations, or you can order online for same-day delivery. WildForkFoods.com. Wild Fork Foods. Quality meat. Wild prices.
It feels like everyone's sick right now. You aren't imagining it. Doctors say this is the worst cold and flu season in 25 years, and it's not over. I was just traveling. It was like everyone around me was coughing, sneezing, and sick. I can't afford to get sick, and I doubt you can either. That's why I ordered a medical emergency kit. Having a medical emergency kit is like having urgent care and pharmacy right in your home. It includes essential prescriptions like generic Z-Pak to help you get well faster, plus important antibiotics to treat pneumonia, strep throat, sinus and ear infections, nausea, even UTIs, and many more common and serious illnesses. It's your kit the moment you need it. Just match your symptoms to the right prescription in your guidebook or call their telemedicine doctor standing by. It's genius. Every home needs at least one medical emergency kit. Order yours online in minutes and it's shipped to your door. I can save you $45 when you use my promo code 880 at urgentcarekit.com/880. Again, save $45 with my promo code 880 at urgentcarekit.com/880.
25 a month, 5 whole years, same sweet number in your ears. Check it in a year, check it in 5. This ain't optimum 5, but price is still alive. 25 a month, 5 whole years, same sweet number in your ears. Get Optimum famously fast fiber internet. Optimum.com/25 for 5. Or call 8884-OPTIMUM. Terms apply. See Optimum.com for details.
This is Rick Brunson, the assistant coach from the New York Knicks. I'll be driving to our games this season in style in my new Jeep Gladiator from Princeton Jeep. My friends at Princeton Jeep gave me all-star treatment, and you can expect the same thing. Just mention I sent you, and they'll treat you like family. Princeton Jeep has tons of inventory and great deals on new vehicles. Visit Princeton Jeep at 1045 State Road in Princeton, New Jersey, or online at PrincetonJeeps.com and tell them Rick Brunson sent you.
FanDuel is offering an early win on your pre-live moneyline bets for college basketball when your team goes up 10 points, and it stays a win no matter how the game ends. Did you get that? Win or lose, if your team takes a lead of 10 or more points, then it's a win for you. And don't forget, with FanDuel, you get paid instantly when you win. FanDuel is offering an early win on your pre-live moneyline bets for college basketball when your team goes up 10 points, and it stays a win no matter how the game ends. Did you get that? Win or lose, if your team takes a lead of 10 or more points, just visit FanDuel.com/local to get started. Bet the bracket with FanDuel now. 21 plus and physically present in New York. Opt-in required. Tokens are non-withdrawable. Restrictions apply, including token expiration, market requirements, and max wager amount. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. For help with a gambling problem, call 1-877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369.
Now it's time for traffic and Susie Cerrone.
Hey guys, forget about the inbound Lincoln Tunnel. It had been closed about an hour for a car fire. Now just the left lane is closed, but damage done. It's horrible at the Lincoln, better at the George or at the Holland. A stalled tractor trailer across Bronx westbound at Sheridan Boulevard that has the center lane out. Police activity on the Belt eastbound at Knapp Street, just the left lane's getting through. Accidents on the Parkway in both directions. Southbound at the Driscoll Bridge in the left lane. Parkway northbound at 143 in the right lane. And an overturned car in Edison. 2 lanes out on 287 northbound at 440. We're sponsored by Unbound.org. A girl in Kenya dreams of becoming a doctor. Reach out, change her world. It'll change your own. Unbound.org. I'm Susie Cerrone for 880 ESPN New York.
It's Rich Eisen for Pella Windows and Doors. Sometimes teams take a timeout to regroup and call the right play. When it comes to your home, Pella Windows and Doors always has the winning game plan. They do it every day, and that's why your neighbors trust them. Visit Pella.com/Eisen today. Right now, Pella Windows and Doors of New Jersey is offering 25% off windows and doors or 0% APR for 72 months. Some restrictions may apply. See store for details. Offer ends March 31st, 2026.
Evan Cohen here. In life, as in sports, the pros make it look easy. That's why pro golfers like Jason Day, Ben Griffin, and Patton Kazire trust the pros in lawn care. True Green. They have the experience and expertise to give you a lawn worthy of the PGA Tour. And since True Green does the work for you, you get more free time, or more tee times. So stop stressing over your lawn and start loving it. Sign up now at TrueGreen.com because nobody makes it easier to get a golf course quality lawn than True Green, the official lawn care treatment provider of the PGA Tour.
We all have that one friend.
I'm talking about the yo-yos who set themselves on fire and bathe in pork and beans.
Or know that one person.
I'm here with my family.
Who can't help but be.
He's not cool. His voice is weird. He's kind of a dork. His brother's a tool. His girlfriend's annoying.
That guy.
I didn't know it was banner night. We won't be out for that.
It's time for That Guy Thursday.
Hey, guys. Anyone want to play some ball?
With Don, Hahn, and Rosenberg.
He's just being that guy.
Well, before we get to that guy, let's just update things as we're watching, hoping, maybe praying for a potential 116 upset. Siena was just on the ropes as Duke rallied all the way back, cut it to 2, and then there was an 11-0 run by Duke to cut it to 2. 47-45. And then Siena hit a big 3 to stop the run. And now it's a 3-point game as Duke is then answered there. So we are.
But it doesn't tell the full story because Siena also can't buy a layup. I mean, they're in their own heads.
Don called it. They missed 2 dunks that really started the turnaround for Duke, changed momentum. But now that's 2 threes now for Siena, a 6-point lead as they are now trying to punch back.
That's huge.
Under 13.
I mean, Don, seriously, just getting it back to 6 from 2 is a big victory when you're a 16 seed because it felt like it was about to be a complete blowout. And that still may happen, but this is some good fight here from Siena that they were not showing for a while.
Yeah, but it just feels like it's all about the 3, right? Just like it is in the NBA. If they fall, they're in good shape. If they don't fall, it's going to be harder and harder for them to get stops because Duke obviously is the better team.
By the way, 2 possessions ago,
how will they shoot
Boozer had – did you see the Boozer play like 2 possessions ago, Alan, where he literally backed up under the basket without dribbling like 4 feet? Stuff like that drives me absolutely.
You know how it's going.
Batty.
You know how that's also the part that does frustrate you. The officiating in college basketball is not one. We always know there's going to be these moments where you're like, how did you not see that? But Siena, the 3-ball has been their friend. They're 7 of 16 from downtown. That's a big part of it because Duke has only hit 3. They're 3 of 17, but obviously they're getting a ton done in the paint. And they also haven't missed a free throw yet. 10 for 10 for Duke. So that's always a big part of the story. All right, so it's That Guy Thursday. Who wants to start us off?
I'd like to start because sometimes it gets away from us, right?
Go ahead.
You're right, Don. Yeah, go.
All right, that guy is my guy, and that's Gary Bettman, commissioner of the National Hockey League.
Okay.
Oh, boy.
Now, we've discussed this format that Alan and I are not fans of where you play in your division the first 2 rounds of the NHL playoffs. And it seems like every year in the Western Conference Central Division, we get the 2-3 matchup, 2 of the best teams in the NHL. And again, it's going to happen this year. If Colorado wins the division, although that's very much up for grabs because Dallas beat them last night. But if the season ended today, Dallas would be the second-place team in the Central. Minnesota would be the 3rd. Literally, in the Western Conference, the second-best team is Dallas. The third-best team is Minnesota. Does it make sense that the second-best team and the third-best team in the conference are going to play in the first round, and one of them is guaranteed to be out? Is that fair? Does that make sense?
It doesn't.
This format sucks. It does. Bill Guerin, general manager of the Minnesota Wild, says, in my opinion, the second-best team in the league shouldn't be playing the third-best team in the league in the first round. Makes sense. Now, the general managers' meetings are happening right now, so Gary Bettman spoke. Gary Bettman's retort, because everybody's killing him for this, because nobody likes this format. Nobody. Mm-hmm. It gives us a sensational first round. Probably the best playoff first round in any sport. Why does he just assume, Alan and Peter, that it's the best first round in any sport because divisional teams are playing each other? Maybe if you have faith in your sport that, hey, people like hockey, they like playoff hockey, and they'll watch the first round because they're interested in the competition. And even if it were true that the interest is there because of divisional play, does it make sense from a competitive standpoint to have 2 of the best teams in the sport play that early and one of them be gone? Because jobs are won and lost, guys, on how you do in the playoffs. Now, I think people would see the forest through the trees and not be firing Hines as the head coach or firing Guerin as the general manager because Minnesota got bounced in the first round.
You would hope so.
But it's still losing in the first round. You made a trade. You mortgaged your future to get Quinn Hughes as most likely a rental because he's probably gone after next year. And you're still getting bounced in the first round, not because you're bad, not because you're mismanaged, but you just happen to have a matchup with the Dallas Stars who are just slightly better than you, and you're both in the top 5 in the entire league. It makes no sense. And I believe if you got different matchups, because, divisional matchups make it fun. But you could also, you don't think a Ranger-Bruin series in the first round wouldn't be fun? You don't think that a Maple Leaf Capital series wouldn't be fun in the first round? Why do we have to believe that only people would be interested, guys, because they're divisional matchups? No, I think they're interested because people like the sport, they like the competition, and they'd like to know that having great regular seasons means you get to take on lesser teams in the first round. That's what motivates us to have the best record, not, I'm stuck in a really good division and I'm going to get bounced in the first round and might have to mortgage my future or might have to fire my general manager and head coach because, again, I get bounced in the first round because I get this matchup. It's so unfair. And the arrogance of Gary to talk about, well, that's the reason it's popular. No, maybe it's popular because your sport's growing and there's star players and playoff hockey's amazing. Not just because I get to see Carolina and the Rangers every year. Sometimes that gets boring too, doesn't it?
Yep.
To see the same matchups every single year.
Yep.
Every year, it's the same teams playing each other in the first round and in the second round. Instead of seeing some variety. Come on, Gary, wake up.
I also think, Don, it's sometimes
Beautifully
you get
done,
it backwards. I think what you're getting a lot of times with this format is what should be a second round or conference final matchup in the first round, which is not really what you want because you still want your best teams there at the end. You want the teams that you think have a chance to win a cup. You don't want to eliminate a team in the first round that you think has a good chance to win the cup. I think it actually makes your tournament worse, not better.
And Minnesota, like literally, is a top 5. I think they're the 5th best team in the entire NHL.
Yeah.
And they're going to have home ice disadvantage in the first round. Come on, man. And I tell you, he won't say it. He won't say it. But I'm going to say it for him.
Go ahead.
It's stupid, ridiculous, borderline ignorant. Oh, we're going to have a bracket. Bracket challenge. Bracket challenge is so much fun because everybody wants the NCAA tournament. Take your bracket, roll it up, and stick it.
Where?
Where is the question?
Where the sun doesn't shine, in the darkest, deepest hole you can think of. Stick it in filth.
Why can't you have a bracket?
Stick it in filth?
Why can't you have a bracket when isn't everything a bracket?
Not really.
Don, every
no, but you don't fill it.
is a bracket.
But no,
They're
you
all
got
brackets.
you want to fill it out because it's fun.
But
I get to go to the website and I get to have the bracket challenge. We did it on Game Misconduct.
But
it's
can't
fun.
you explain to me what's different about whether
because you can't extrapolate it out to the end if you don't have a bracket.
Well, you have 1 through 8.
You have 1 through 8.
The NBA has a bracket. Look on their website.
But you
NBA.com/standings.
I know.
There's a whole playoff bracket.
But you
it looks
can't
just like
fill out a bracket.
March Madness.
But you can't fill it out because then it'll all get messed up because you don't know what the matchups are going to be.
Once you get something wrong, the rest of your bracket may not look the same. You pick a team that loses, then they're not playing the right team in the second round. Then you're picking another team
because of the reseed thing?
And there we go.
Yeah, the reseed thing is where in her, and I'm telling you that because they love that because then you go to it's a great way to promote and you get a sponsor. It's all about money. I get it. Greed's good. I understand.
Don, majority of the brackets, where do you think they're filled out?
Greed's good.
Where are they? Where do you think the majority of people who are involved in the bracket thing? Where are they from?
I don't know. Where are they from?
I would say Canada. Do you think anybody in the U.S. gives a rip about a damn NHL bracket?
I don't think we ever had a Canada winner.
I'm not saying a winner.
No,
I'm just saying.
But I don't think, Alan, I disagree. I think the Canadians don't need it, though.
No,
I
think they're trying to draw people into, hey, we got a bracket, fill it out. Who do you think is going to win the Stanley Cup? And if all of a sudden you're reseeding and things get blown up, that people aren't going to have an interest. I understand. I get it. They are fun. We used it on Game Misconduct. We give away a jersey every year. I get it. It drew attention. It got a crowd. But you know what also gets a crowd? Honoring the best teams and giving those teams a chance. Having regular season games be meaningful, which they already are. Gary, have faith in your sport. For the first time, realize that it's hot. The Devils and the Rangers played on ABC a couple of weeks ago. Both teams are out of it. But because Jack Hughes was in the game and the Rangers are popular, over 1 million people watch. People are interested in your sport.
Yep.
Have faith in it. Don't try to Jimmy switch it into, we got to have divisional matchups. Nobody's going to watch the first round if it doesn't mean divisional match. I'm sorry. If you get the Columbus Blue Jackets playing the Carolina Hurricanes, people aren't going to care. All right? There's no matter what, there's going to be certain matchups that stink. In the NBA, too. It just happens.
All right.
But
All right.
at least let me know. I'm sorry,
right.
I'm talking too much.
No, you're good. Yeah, Gary Bettman.
Yeah, but you know what?
You had
it on your chest,
yeah,
and it's
off
off the chest.
And that's it. Gary
Right with my
Bettman, again, I'll
mucus.
say it one more time to be clear. Gary Bettman, we love you. You've done an amazing job as commissioner. You being that guy. That's all we're saying.
That's it.
Peter?
Mine is low-hanging fruit,
I love it.
But yesterday,
it's the best kind of that guy.
Sienna is finding a way to respond with some of these threes hanging.
I'm keeping an eye on it. You stick with your plan. I got this.
All right, here we go. Everyone calm down. Now, the low-hanging fruit is yesterday we had a great time at Calandra's. Just, first of all, someone's that guy because we're the idiots who were saying Calandra's, and somehow no one in months of promotion, Don, comes up and says, it's not Calandra's like Sandra Bernhardt. It's Calandra's like Sandra from The Cosby Show. Why didn't someone explain it to us?
Just someone. Please tell.
Just say, no. So anyways, we're at Calandra's.
Yeah.
And Don, when I tell you they treated us like gold, I just mean they were wonderful in every way.
Agree.
The second Alan and I sit down to chat before the show, they offer us beverages. And they set down this beautiful plate. It was actually more like a little tray, like what was it? What would you call that thing, Al? Like a serving tray almost.
Yeah, it was. It looked like charcuterie.
Like a charcuterie board.
Yeah, but it was pasta instead of cheese.
But Don, instead of a cheese board or salami, it's like 3 little piles of pasta and some utensils, right? And they did give us plates, but it was set up in our little area, and they dropped it right between me and Alan.
Yeah. There you go.
Right?
Yeah.
And it was food for us. And
Right, so it's your plate. You're sharing a plate.
Yeah.
We're basically, and we joked. We said we're going to go Lady and the Tramp. I mean, because we're
the pictures that were sent out kind of looked like that.
Yeah, there was a little Lady in the Tramp-ish photo that did make the rounds.
That made its way around. So we honestly don't have a lot of time here. We maybe didn't have time to make a great plate, so we just kind of grabbed our forks and said, let's try this pasta.
Yeah.
And listen, God bless our audio engineer who does a lot of our remotes, Paul.
Right.
Don, you're familiar.
Very. Paul Schrader, yeah.
That's Paul Schrader to you and me.
Yeah.
I would say, Paul does a great job. I would say in the 50 or so remotes maybe we've had done with him, Don, since I got here, maybe 40, 35 remotes. I would say our conversation's limited to about 75 words over those days, okay?
30 seconds.
And
right? Like, those are the conversations he has with us. 1 minute.
I guess Paul was very excited about being at Calandra's, and I understand.
Who wouldn't be?
But with 5 minutes before our show, with Alan and I sharing this plate of food like Lady and the Tramp in front of us, he just comes over with a fork and goes, I'm taking some. And just... Don, listen, I'm not trying to be that guy. I'm not the, hey, I'm talent, don't touch my food guy. But it was a very intimate setting.
Right.
And he just jumped right in and started helping himself.
He just dove right in.
Yeah. Get him away from the cake. Somebody get him away from the cake.
It wasn't that bad because we know Paul. We love Paul.
Oh, my goodness.
But it was a bit much. And then I had John Winthrop talking about, hey, I think I got to go at X time, blah, blah, blah. This is a real story. I think I got to go at blank time. We'll see, but I got to get back to the family. Blah. And then he goes, I just found out they're giving us dinner. All of a sudden, Don, his time to leave changes by an hour and a half.
The family.
And I said, as of this moment, John, you are entering the Brownshire category of schnurring.
Well, you're naming names.
And then listen, this is Calandra's. And by the way, Brownshire, bad job by him. As King Schnurr, he should have found no reason to be at this event.
He didn't find his way here at all. No, right.
But it was a great time. And also, I hope Don's not offended by this. The funniest comment I saw on social media from the picture we posted was Ken Danico looks like Don on Ozempic. Was maybe my funniest, maybe my favorite comment. I mean, you guys do look borderline related.
I did see
and he's in great shape for a former athlete.
He's in great shape. I mean, listen, this man's a Stanley Cup champion, Don.
Can I also point out to the room, he was the last guy to leave.
Yeah.
Oh,
he's not because he's in his element.
He was in conversations, engaged, loved every minute of it. Like the game was over, and we're like, Dano, like the night's over.
Well,
no, you guys can go.
I'm all about not telling tales out of school, but like we come back to start the period, and they give us a couple of minutes to kind of set the scene, or maybe there's some stat we want to throw out there, and it's intended for me, Sal, and Kenny to get into it, and I could see Kenny coming up the stairs. The fans won't let him all the way up. And sometimes we got to start the segment without him because he just is shaking hands, taking pictures, he is Mr. Devil, honestly. He is terrific.
Very cool. Well, as far as Calandras last night, too, we'd be remiss if we didn't shout out our teammates who were there doing all the work. Lindsay, for sure, helping set everything up for us, having the connection, of course, with Calandras. Jefferson, Joe, Tyler, Jake, Gina was there as well.
Oh, yeah.
All the interns. It just, again, you guys
Chase,
did all
the
work
new spring intern.
Chase came over, said hello. He's a Rutgers guy, Donnie.
Okay.
Does play-by-play. Can't wait to talk to you. So everyone that was there that kind of helped supported us. All Peter and I did was just
Tessa from West Caldwell.
Oh,
I
you
heard
missed
that.
Tessa in person taking pictures. Did not punch Peter in the face.
Heather Babbles was in the house.
Yes, she was there too with her husband Anthony. He was there, inviting us to barbecue in the summer.
It was. I feel bad, Don.
You
missed it. You missed a good one.
Making me sick.
And I'm working on it right now.
I suck.
It's not official. It's not official, but I am in conversations with Calandras about going back this summer to host a Peter Rosenberg USA World Cup watch party.
I suck.
We are. So, you know what, Donnie? Maybe I'll drag you out for my World Cup event to make up for it.
To watch soccer because he missed a hockey outing. How about that?
Yeah, how about that? And you know they have an outdoor bar situation there too, a whole courtyard outdoor thing too. So super excited about that.
All right, well that's that guy Thursday 800-919-3776. Do you have one you want to add to the conversation? We'll talk with you and more coming up.
I got a movie review too at some point.
Oh,
movie review.
You watch a lot of movies when you're bedridden.
That's a good point. All right, well, Don's movie review as well. And Siena and Duke, it's now a 1-point game. Siena is holding on for dear life. 5 minutes to go. We'll keep you updated certainly on that as well. Don Hahn Rosenberg, ESPN New York.
Fifth-seeded St. John's kicks off their March Madness tournament in San Diego against 12th-seeded Northern Iowa. Coverage begins Friday at 7 on 1050 ESPN.
Let me say this. If you're an experienced superintendent in Jersey and you know you're better than the situation that you're in, Tricon Construction wants to talk. They're building serious multifamily, medical, and industrial projects across the state, and they're looking for leaders, not babysitters, real projects, real support, real backing from ownership. If you're ready to step into something bigger, go to triconbuilds.com/careers. That's triconbuilds.com/careers. And yes, it's confidential.
Score up to a $50 bonus bet daily during March matchups with BetMGM's free-to-play fast break game. Log in to BetMGM, play as the point guard, and choose to pass or go for a dunk. If you score, you'll win either a $50 bonus bet or boost token. The ball is always in your court with BetMGM, where you can take advantage of special offers and earn rewards points on every bet. Make a fast break during March matchups by playing as the point guard for your daily shot at a $50 bonus bet or boost token. BetMGM.com is where you can find full prize details and terms. BetMGM and GameSense remind you to play responsibly. Gambling problem? Call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369. See BetMGM.com for terms. 21 plus years of age to wager and physically present in New York only. New and existing customer offer. Subject to eligibility requirements. Additional terms and restrictions may apply. All rewards expire in 24 hours.
Presented by Robinhood.
He crosses, spins, pulls up.
With Robinhood Prediction Markets, buy or sell your predictions all game long. No house odds, just you versus the market. Put your sports IQ to work. Trade every shot, block, steal, run, and moment that shifts the game. With Robinhood Prediction Markets, trade every play. Visit Robinhood.com/predict to start trading. Futures and cleared swaps trading involves significant risk and is not appropriate for everyone. Event contracts are offered by Robinhood Derivatives LLC, a registered futures commission merchant and swap firm.
Evan Cohen here. Game day brings the excitement. Your stay should feel just as memorable. With Marriott Bonvoy, official hotel partner of the NCAA and U.S. Soccer, you're connected to a portfolio of brands designed for how you travel. Some offer complimentary breakfast, others give you room to spread out, space to stay productive, or extended stay comforts. So whether you're a traveling fan or part of the team, Marriott Bonvoy celebrates the moments that live on before and after the game. Marriott Bonvoy, where game day checks in.
I'm Boomer Esiason. My mom died from cancer. She was only 37 years old. She didn't have life insurance, and that was devastating for my family. That's why having life insurance is so important to me. Ethos makes it fast and easy. Get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. You can get up to $3 million in coverage with no medical exam.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/play. That's ethos.com/play. Paid spokesperson. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
I'm Boomer Esiason. My mom died from cancer. She was only 37 years old. She didn't have life insurance, and that was devastating for my family. That's why having life insurance is so important to me. Ethos makes it fast and easy. Get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. You can get up to $3 million in coverage with no medical exam.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/play. That's ethos.com/play. Paid spokesperson. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
Okay, class, let's begin.
Psst, love your boots. I just sold a pair like that on eBay.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it took like 2 seconds to list, and they sold almost immediately. I've been selling everything lately. Some chunky boots, a faux fur coat I never wore, and a vintage chair that was more of an expensive clothing rack.
You know, I actually bought these on eBay. Wait, are you Kitty Sell Stuff from Brooklyn?
Okay, quiet, please.
Find what you love, sell what you don't. eBay. Things people love.
Join DiPietro and Rothenberg Thursday, April 23rd for a special couch cast of Round 1 of the NFL Draft, presented by Calandra's Bakery. The Jets and Giants have 3 picks in the top 16, and Rick and Dave will react live as the first round unfolds. From the big decisions to the big-time drama. Catch it all in this YouTube-only exclusive, and it's all from Calandra's Bakery and your home for football talk. ESPN New York.
1-877 Cards for Kids. KARS Cards for Kids.
Ready to get rid of that old car? Donate it to Cars for Kids. Call 877 Cars for Kids to reach a friendly live agent. Donation is super easy, and your car can be picked up as soon as tomorrow. Call us now or go to carsforkids.org.
1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Did you know you can donate real estate too?
50 years from now, will jeans be wide or skinny? Will email still exist? Will guac still be extra? One thing is certain. If you won the new Millionaire for Life from the New Jersey Lottery today, you'd still be getting $1 million every year for life. That's enough money to say, bring it on, the future. I will have that guacamole at any price.
Play the new Millionaire for Life today. Anything can happen in Jersey. Must be 18 or older to buy a lottery ticket. Please play responsibly. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Well, Duke now is in takeover mode.
Yeah.
This was fun while it lasted, but we are now seeing this slip away. Siena now losing. Siena had a lead as big as 13, I believe, in this game,
That's
but
right.
being outscored in the second half, 32-18, as now they're trailing by, now it's 4. 2 free throws just went down, 3:41 to go, and Duke, who was facing what would have been an epic upset, now with a 4-point lead, 3:41 to go. Siena was knocking down threes early. The rim's gotten smaller for them, as it usually does in this tournament later in games when you're feeling a chance to upset. A game we will certainly keep an eye on with you. Can I point one thing out?
Please.
So St. John's plays tomorrow, right? We have a great promo about it, but there's something about it, Don, that bothers me that I wonder if it would bother you as well, or am I just being that guy?
Okay.
It's at the very beginning, guys. If you could play it. We just played it during the break.
Fifth-seeded St. John's kicks off their March Madness tournament in San Diego
You
against
stop it right there.
What, kicks off?
March Madness.
Kicks off?
Yeah, Jake's got it. It's not football, man. Is it
Yeah,
that
you're
hard to
right.
just say tips off?
No, it's you're being that guy.
Am I being that guy?
Well, I'm glad it's Thursday.
It's
'cause
basketball,
you're being
man.
that guy.
Who kicks off anything? We don't kick off basketball. We tip off basketball.
No, it's
You-
kickoff is applied
Bothers
to
me.
everything.
Come on,
Go-
No,
You're
it doesn't
not
apply to
wrong, but
everything.
you're
You're
also
not
being
kicking
that
anything.
guy.
If you kick in basketball, it's a violation. You can't even kick. You're not allowed to use your feet. Shouldn't be kickoff.
I never.
We need to be
I
better.
think of kickoff, Don, as being like beyond sports, like events kickoff. Like
Yeah.
kickoffs are just—it's just a word. It doesn't. It's not football. I mean,
He's right, Peter, but he's also still that guy.
I'm sorry. I'm following.
But no.
AP
He is
style.
wrong. Would you say St. John's tips off? You
Tips
wouldn't even
off.
say that though. No, you wouldn't say that though. They tip off their tournament.
Yeah,
run.
but
Like you don't say
here's the
that.
thing.
going on here.
But let me ask you this, Alan.
It bothers me.
All right.
Sorry.
I love the energy, but you're tipping off a game. Like if he's saying tip off at 9:10,
the game tips off. Right.
You would never say kickoff because you're tipping off. But if you're talking about starting a run, and it's the beginning of March Madness,
right?
I think kickoff is acceptable because, like Peter said, kickoff is taken on a different form beyond sports. We're kicking off the new year. We're kicking off the party kind of thing. Because
it has nothing to do with that.
We're just talking about St. John's trying to make a run here. It's not just going to be one and done. They're going to be in this a while, and it all kicks off from San Diego tomorrow.
That's it.
Yeah. So
in fact, we're wasting. In fact, we're wasting too much time on it. It's embarrassing to all of us.
It really bothers. I'm sorry, it bothers me. It's a waste
not a
of
real
time. Something bothers me. It's a waste of time. Something bothers you. We'll take 20 minutes on it. It bothers me. I
Don,
feel
you
like
can't believe
there's enough football being shoved down our throats that when we have some basketball, can we just talk about basketball?
This is why we needed to talk it out because you revealed a little something there. That's why it bothers you.
Yeah.
Because if you're believing that football's being shoved down our throat, why can't
football
basketball have its moment? No, we talked it out. Now we know.
Yeah, I feel better now.
Man, Sienna just can't buy a bucket late in this game.
I hate it. I
missed
hate it.
another block dunk.
Don't you hate when this happens, right? It's just that's the part
I said this is what sucks. Don, this is why I have these rules of hanging on. And they have to hold a big lead late. I said literally basically till under 4 minutes. Otherwise, it's they're going to lose it.
But your
it's
first
too
rule
hard.
was you can't get excited till what, the under 16?
Yes, and it started to fade right around
right
the
about
16.
the time, right? Wasn't that about the time the two dunks were missed?
Yep.
And it just started to fade. It's amazing.
Were we ever able to get Duke plus money, or were they favorites basically the whole time?
There's no way you would have had Duke plus money. 13 was too close.
I'm forwarding this to you because I'm offended, and I want you to know why I'm offended.
Oh, no.
Oh, boy.
You're offended.
Well, while you're doing that, let me tell everybody to get ready for Rickleball Madness. You know why? Because it kicks off tomorrow.
Well, I'm forwarding.
ESPN New York is taking over Pickleball Heaven in Medford, New York. Catch a live broadcast of DiPietro and Rothenberg starting at 6 a.m., and then you can stick around for our Social Ladder Pickleball Tournament.
It's wrong. It's actually wrong. I think he crossed the line.
Well, it's funny how the text came up as I'm trying to read the script. We'll crown our champions, then roll right into College Hoops Watch Party to cap off the day. Rick and these watch parties this week. The tournament is officially sold out, but the event is open to the public. So come down, enjoy the action, be part of Rickleball Madness. It's brought to you by Pickleball Heaven, the new standard of indoor pickleball. And like I said, that kicks off, because that's what we say about everything now. Any event, we got to say it kicks off, because all it is about football. Even pickleball has to have football in it somehow, some way.
Did Rick's text cross a line? I say yay.
I mean, it always does, doesn't it?
Well, this is major steppage.
Well, but you can't even get close to saying this on the air. So
right.
Here's a hint. It's about a tip and an Amazon guy, and it's not what you want.
I mean, you basically said
it. Yeah, thank you. You said it.
So
but
right
I
now,
thought he would go more how you get kicked. Never mind. All right.
You know what? But listen,
let's leave the wives out of it, shall we?
Well, that's the part that I do feel it always goes over the line.
I have something to say about FanDuel because they're dropping bonus bets into everyone's accounts
Once you
for
kick
the
it off.
tournament. All you have to do is opt in to claim your bonus. Use them on your bracket picks, money line spreads, totals, game props, or even same-game parlays. But don't wait. These bonus bets are only available for a limited time. Just visit FanDuel.com/local to learn more. 21 and over, physically present in New York. Bonus issued is non-withdrawable bonus bets, which expire 7 days after receipt. Max bonus $500 unless otherwise specified. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com for help with a gambling problem. Call 877-8-OPEN-Y or text OPEN-Y 467-369.
Gold is now nearly $5,200 an ounce, and silver is at an all-time high. Now is the best time to cash in on your unused gold and silver by going to the Estates Roadshow. Gold and silver, old rings, chains, and even broken jewelry. Don't wait. Cash in while gold and silver are hot. 3 locations this week: Staten Island as well as Clark and Old Bridge, New Jersey. Bring your gold, silver, coins, diamonds, and watches, even broken pieces, and get cash on the spot. The prices of gold and silver are at an all-time high, so there's never been a better time to sell. No appointments, no fees, no pressure. Just friendly professional buyers with over 35 years in the business. Go to the Estates Roadshow Monday through Friday in Clark, New Jersey at the Holiday Inn, Staten Island at the Hilton Garden Inn, and Friday through Tuesday in Old Bridge at TMT Cash for Gold, the bright yellow building on Route 9 South. Get some cash in your hands today at the Estates Roadshow. For more info, follow Estates Roadshow on Facebook or go to tmtcashforgold.com.
Now it's time for traffic with Susie Cerrone.
Thanks, guys. Hang in there if you're on the Cross Bronx westbound. We still have this stalled tractor trailer at the Sheridan in the center lane, but the wrecker is on the scene. It's still jammed from the Bruckner. Belt Parkway eastbound at Knapp Street, that's still police activity. Just the left lane is getting through. You're jammed from 4th Avenue. Inbound George 20, inbound Lincoln, well, the car fire is gone, but now there's a crash on 495 eastbound at Pleasant Avenue, so that's a 40-minute delay. Better at the inbound Holland. Crash on the Parkway northbound at 138. It's in the right lane. You're backed up from 135 in Clark. We're sponsored by Unbound.org. A girl in Kenya dreams of becoming a doctor. Reach out and change her world. It'll change your own. Unbound.org. I'm Susie Cerrone for 880 ESPN New York.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance tech at a university, he knows ordering from multiple suppliers takes time away from keeping their arena up and running. That's why he counts on Grainger to get everything he needs, from lighting and HVAC parts to plumbing supplies, all in one place. And with fast, dependable delivery, he's stocked and ready for the next tip-off. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Progressive presents the Passionate Sports Fan Checklist. Signed jersey of your favorite bench warmer? Check. 14 bobbleheads that look nothing like the players they're emulating? Check. Twin TVs so you can watch the game on 2 different networks simultaneously? Check. Life-size wall sticker of your favorite player that routinely freaks you out at night? Check. A second life-size wall sticker so after the first one freaks you out, you see the second and you're like, oh right, the wall stickers. Check and mate. Bundle your renters and auto insurance with Progressive and save on protection for the things on your checklist. Get a quote at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and third-party insurers not available in all states or situations covered subject to policy terms.
Put it in the box. This is your radio home for New York Mets baseball. 880 ESPN, WHSQ, and WCBS FM HD2, New York.
All right, 5:02 in the big city with Don LaGreca and Peter Rosenberg. I'm Alan Hahn. We are watching NCAA tournament for you, keeping you up on things. And the game that we've been talking about the most here so far, we have had a couple of upsets already. Early on, High Point, a 12 seed, took out Wisconsin 83-82. That's your biggest one so far. But right now, Siena from upstate New York had Duke on the ropes in the second half with a great first half. But this looks like it is now over as Duke will survive. They are up 4. Yeah. Just about 10 seconds or so to go here. They had a 37-point second half, but more important, now it's 70-65. They held Siena to 22 points in the second half after Siena put up 43 at the half. 43 and a half in a college basketball game, Donnie, is that's serious business. So, hey, this has been fun, but for Siena, boy, you had an opportunity. Duke's at number 1 seed. You're a 16. By the way, this is a tournament update brought to you by Schweppes.
Sure is.
But, Don, this has been, like I said, this is what you're looking for in March Madness. These kind of games early on, that's what draws you in, these moments.
Yeah, little over 17 minutes left in the second half, and I thought Peter made a great point that once you dip into that under 16 first commercial break, and if they maintain a big lead, that's when you start to say, hey, maybe upset could be a possibility here, and it's now a final 71-65. Duke survives. And around the 17 minutes into that second half, they missed a couple of dunks. And Duke came right back, hit a 3, cut it to 9, and then you started to see it kind of ebb away.
Yeah.
Now Siena's hoisting threes, and now the threes aren't falling, and now they're not getting the stoppages on the other end. And then once Duke took the 2-possession lead, it was pretty much over at that point. But Siena didn't get blown out. They hung in there. They did try to counterpunch a little bit, but they just didn't have it. Duke's the better team, and this is why upsets are, especially 16-1s, are so difficult, because you just can't leave that door open even a crack. And they did, and Duke just kicked it down. Yeah,
and then three-point shooting was big for Siena early on, but that also went away as well. Some of the other scores, TCU is a 9 seed. They took out Ohio State, an 8 seed, 66-64. Nebraska gets their first ever NCAA tournament win, which is hard to believe, but that is a fact. The 4 seed beat Troy 76-47. Louisville beat South Florida. 6 seed Louisville beat 11 seed South Florida 83-79. Some other scores that are happening for live games right now. Michigan State's a 3 seed. They're up 37-20 over 14 seed North Dakota State. And Arkansas, a 4 seed, up 42-30 on 13 seed Hawaii. Vanderbilt, they are in, they're under 5 minutes to go for them. Up 5 seed Vanderbilt, up 5, that 5-12 bracket. McNeese State's at 65-60, 12 seed McNeese has been hanging in this thing as well. So we'll keep an eye on all this stuff for you as we continue the conversation. That, of course, a tournament update presented by Schweppes. Schweppes delivers above-the-rim refreshment. Feel the madness and refresh your game with a Schweppes Seltzer or Schweppes Ginger Ale. Before we get back to calls at 800-919-3776 with you, Don, we opened the show just again. Some of the news in the world of sports, at least in the New York area today, Howie Rose announcing his retirement as the voice of the Mets. This will be his final season. It's a hell of a run, certainly, for Howie. You and I both know him well. You know him a lot better than I do, but I did get to work with him at times when he was the voice of the Islanders for a while on TV, when he made that move over from the Rangers broadcast. And we just know he's a class act, but another voice of a generation, our generation of listening to sports in New York that is calling it quits, saying goodbye, and well-deserved for him.
And we've been so fortunate here in New York to see some of the best. And when I say losing, they're still with us, but they're not calling games anymore. Right. About a decade ago, Doc Emmerich retired from the Devils and then eventually retired nationally as well, and he's one of the best to ever do it. John Sterling has called his last Yankee game. Sam Rosen has called his last Ranger game. And now this year, we're going to see Howie Rose call his last Met game, and hopefully it'll be in the postseason after a long run. We hope that with Sam, and Sam didn't get a postseason, didn't get a chance to do a first round on MSG or do any radio beyond the first round, so you don't take anything for granted. He'll have all of his home games at Citi Field, and he will call the 3 games at Yankee Stadium, and that's it. He announced that before the announcement that this was going to be his last season, and he was on with Michael Kay earlier and just talked about that it really came down to, even though he had cut it down to just the home games, the sacrifice that his wife has made. And when you do a game, especially a night game, you're coming home at 11:30 at night. She's eating dinner by herself.
Yeah.
Because it's an empty nest now. Kids are out of the house, and his daughter's moved on to do some things in the business too. And he said that maybe he'd keep it a little longer if he was able to, blink and be right home after the game was over and show up just before first pitch. But, it's the community. He lives full-time in Florida now, so they come back up here to be in New York for the season. And he's 72 years old, which is not old by any stretch of the imagination, but he's been doing this since 1987. And now he wants to be able to be with his wife and relax. He'll still come in to do ceremonies and all that, and he didn't rule out the possibility of maybe pinch hitting. He did make very clear, which I thought was important, that if 2 years from now the Mets are making a run in the World Series, you're not going to see Howie Rose come in and start doing games. He's like, this is it, all right? Whether they win, lose, whatever happens, this is going to be his last season. But he's always been a help to my career. I was a fan of his with Mets Extra when I was younger and running and listening to the post-game shows after watching the game on TV, just fascinated with his passion, his knowledge of baseball, and then, of course, filling in for Marv Albert doing Ranger games and then eventually doing the Islanders. And that's where I really got to know him because we had the Islanders on our air when we first started. That's how I got to know Alan, doing games at the Coliseum. I'd pick his brain about play-by-play and how you do it and tried to work on that for my career. And he was always so helpful. And he talked about Michael. He learned that from Marv. Marv is always helpful to people that ask questions. I try to be as well because we try to hand it down. And he was better than anybody at it. And he's been very helpful to my career. And hopefully he still will be. But I will miss him driving home after a show, listening to him paint the word picture, as Bob Murphy would say, and then certainly miss his put it in the books when the Mets would win a game.
This feels like a season for both baseball teams, right? Where last year was such a frustrating year for both teams on many levels. Like, can we have a year where they both get it right? Like, are the Mets a team? The Mets are going to be a much different looking team. Whenever look, we don't know how it's gonna go for the season, but when you hear this about Howie, and all the years he has obviously he's called some amazing seasons. The Alonso home run,
right,
is one of the biggest moments, as well as obviously the World Series that they went to against Kansas City. But there's also been those years of starvation with this franchise. And somebody like him who has been such a lifer, and it means so much to him, it's almost like it's like the extra reason to root for one of those magic Met seasons, right? Like,
yeah.
Just give him one more.
Well, because he never had it. Like I said, his first year doing Mets Extra was 1987. It was the year after.
Right after, yeah.
They won their championship.
Yeah.
As sad as you were for Sam not getting postseason last year, he had called 94.
Right.
And that was back when the local had everything right up to the Stanley Cup.
And this one will last a lifetime.
He got that. He deserved another, but at least he got that, right? Mm-hmm. You look at a guy like Mike Breen. He hasn't gotten it yet. He's been calling championships for other teams.
Right.
He hasn't been able to call it for the Knicks. John Sterling had plenty, okay? Michael Kay's had plenty. Mm-hmm. They've been lucky.
Mm-hmm.
But you look at and Doc got to do it with the Devils, but, because he just happened to call, certainly for national while Devils were calling it. But, Carino's gone his way to the Hall of Fame, has yet to call a Nets championship.
Yeah.
Some guys don't get that chance. And Howie has had a lot of 39 years of being involved with the Mets. And, boy, I'd love for him, selfishly because I'm a Met fan, but it would be great to see him be able to finally get that call. There's a lot of reasons why you root for that, and there's a lot of reasons why people buy Ramsey Mazda. It's their selection, it's their customer service, and it's their savings. Lease a new 2026 Mazda CX-50 hybrid preferred with all-wheel drive for $259 for 36 months, or buy with 1.9% APR for 36 months. Start shopping now at RamseyMazda.com. Choose wisely. Choose Ramsey Mazda. Call 833-853-2970 for lease details. Then TN 142673. MSRP $37,300. Zero security deposit. 1.9% APR financing for $28.60 per month. $1,000 financed. Ends 3/31/26. The other thing I wanted to get to quickly, if you don't mind, Alan, because I wasn't on the last couple of days, was the World Baseball Classic.
Okay.
And I thought you guys handled yesterday great. That was an amazing game. But if you were looking, I was always searching for the right way to explain why it was difficult to be all in and compare it to the Olympics and compare it to the World Series. And I thought the best way to describe it, because exhibition sounds like it's pejorative, right? It sounds like you're saying it's meaningless.
Dismissive, right.
It's very dismissive, but it's not accurate. even though technically it is, it feels like it's diminishing it, is Miller's availability in that game the other night. Because the Padres asked him.
Only a save situation, right?
Yeah, and that's it right there. There can't be any compromises. There can't be any he's not availables. The reason we love Game 7s is that you're all in. This is where you see Madison Bumgarner, a starter, come in and close a game. Right? This is where you see that you take that extra shift. Imagine in the gold medal game between Canada and the United States that Connor Hellebuyck was pulled to start the third period or overtime because the Winnipeg Jets asked him, we don't want him to play too many minutes because he's got games coming up. It would have compromised the whole thing. So it's a fun event. It's great. It was a thrilling game. Stinks the U.S. didn't win. I'm really happy where it is, but are you in or you out? You can't have those moments, guys, because he could have pitched. He would have been the chance to pitch in that top of the ninth inning. But because it wasn't a save situation and a promise was made to the San Diego Padres, I don't kill DeRosa for that. What's he supposed to do? But the fact that you can do that is what stops it from being at the level that it should. And as much fun as it was, that's why there are people, guys, that aren't all in and not taking it seriously because of moments like that. You can't have that.
No, and that's why I will continue to push Rob Manfred to strongly consider moving this thing into the season, same way the NHL does it. We don't need an all-star game. We don't need that. Just block off, what is it, 2 weeks?
You don't even, you could probably set it up where it doesn't even have to be that long, right?
Well, you have to have a setup, don't you, for a playoff? Or do you just want to go right into elimination rounds?
No round robin?
Just no round robin. Whatever last year's finish was, that's your seeding for this coming year. And have these games, because we saw in the NHL that Four Nations, which, by the way, exhibition, meant nothing. All you got was a trophy. It was just an in-season tournament that didn't have that wasn't the season. It was basically an in-season tournament. But you do it, and you do it to a point where it does feel like, first of all, players have played a whole year. So now you're conditioned to pitch 6 innings if you had to. You're conditioned to have your closer go because it is actually following suit. He's not going to be messing. It's not going to be messing up with his arm or his readiness or his availability to start a season. All of it's there. Guys are in rhythm. It's more. It really becomes more real baseball. And then, to me, that's your celebration of a sport in the middle of the summer when there's nothing going on. All eyeballs on you, and it then brings you into the second half of the season where everybody now is fired up to watch. Why not try that? Then it feels more real. But the other countries treated it like it meant everything. The U.S. team didn't. That's why, from the American perspective, it never felt real until we got to the semifinal. Agree?
Well, what are you looking at? 4 days off now with the All-Star break, right?
Yeah.
So if you're able to condense, even if it's 2 weeks, that's 12 days. So it's an extra 8 days, but it's not off days because you'll have baseball to watch.
Yes. Sport's still going on.
Well, that also means there's baseball to play, though. That's the problem.
Well, for some guys, yes, and for some guys, there is no baseball to play. Who doesn't make a team?
Right, but for the guys who are playing, no break at all. And that ends up being, between all these different teams, a lot. 16
if you go
players,
to
50 players?
But if you go to All-Star, you're still doing something if you're an All-Star, right? You're still playing.
Yeah, but this is playing like real games that matter. I mean, particularly for pitchers, right?
I don't know
like
if they're
working over.
Are they playing every day though? Like you're playing a day, you get off. Like if you're doing quarterfinal, semifinal, final, that's how many. The max is 3 games, right?
Yeah,
it's the max of 3 games. The minimum of 1.
I also hate to say this, but Don, I just don't think it'll hit that way. I think like you need the round robin. Like I think it needs the build up.
Well, I mean, Peter, if you're going to go to the Olympics, you're going to have to take an extended period of time off. If the end game is to go to the Olympics, and you're going to take more than 2 weeks, you're talking about taking 16, 17 days off. If you're committed to do that, then why not have it happen every year? And then when you're not playing the Olympics, play the World Cup. And
I like it.
can both survive, or would the World Cup be devoured by the fact that, you know what, there's the Olympics?
But do you get the World Cup to also become the thing that does set up
the appetizer, like what happened with the
Four Nations?
For the Four Nations.
So if it's every 4 years for the Olympics, is it the year before or 2 years before do you do your
I think you
World
do the
Cup?
year before.
And then the other 2 years you do an All-Star weekend. Is that so crazy?
But would baseball fans be okay with you're not seeing your team in the middle of the summer for 16 days? Because that's what we do in the NHL, right? Like, it was fun watching all the Olympics, but hey, it also means that you're not seeing your Devils, Rangers, or Islanders for over 2 weeks.
Yeah.
But if you're looking to grow the sport, it would work. Would baseball fans tolerate that? Plus, what do you do with the rest of you can't condense because you're already playing every day anyway.
No, you can't condense.
You'd almost have to set up like they had back in the old days where there was a doubleheader every Sunday. Like maybe that's the way you make up for it. You'll set up doubleheaders.
I don't hate that.
On Sundays or Saturdays.
Yeah.
And you can do the day-night ones if you're afraid of losing a gate to make up for the time so that you're not losing any games.
Do you hate that? Yours.
I don't.
I don't hate it either. That feels more old school, doesn't it?
But I could also understand people like, I'm a Yankee fan, man. I love this is the summertime. I don't want to not see my Yankees for 2 weeks.
I mean, it's 2 weeks.
I don't. You can survive. They got a lot of.
Especially
when
when
it's July.
The Yankees always have a good player. You're still seeing Aaron Judge, right?
Yeah. Can I throw? What about the craziness of? I know this sounds nuts, but hear me out.
I love nuts.
If you were to do it right at the end of the season,
no.
People are at their absolute high off of the World Series when you actually have the most eyeballs on the sport, and then you. My only thing is, otherwise, at any other time, you're holding back on the pitchers.
You're right.
You're not getting the full thing.
Here's the problem with doing that while, in theory, it makes sense. Remember, by the time you get to the World Series, only 2 teams keep playing. What are players doing at that point? Like, what are they waiting for? It's a whole month of October before you can play a World Cup. It cuts into your offseason, which nobody wants.
Yeah, that's the
I
problem.
feel like the middle of the year, especially in the dead zone that is July. We all know it. We say this all the time. July, the dead zone of sports. Nothing's happening. No one's playing. It's the WNBA and it's Major League Baseball and it's football training camps where we turn 7-on-7s into like what was his completion percentage, and you know what I mean? Like we get goofy because at least it's football. It's something new to talk about. This is ideal for baseball if you want to own the sports headlines beyond the randomness of Royals versus Twins. You have this instead. It makes sense, and I do think it gives you momentum into the dog days of August for your team.
And the problem, Peter, also with the end of the season is that whoever goes to the World Series can be like, I'm not going to play.
Yeah.
Like if the Yankees
that's
Series,
a problem.
You're not going to get Aaron Judge to say, now I'm going to go ramp it up and play for my country.
Absolutely.
After I just
Aaron Judge you probably would get, but other people know you wouldn't. Judge, would be very like, sure, why not?
Yeah.
He says yes.
Must play baseball.
They asked, I do.
I'm here for baseball.
Baseball good.
Am I wrong, though? As much as I love the guy, he really does come off robotic, right? He never shows you real personality. Even the speech thing now that's become a thing, his at-bats his failures, no matter what he does, the expression looks the same. Harper hits the home run. Did you see him going like, tamp it down. Harper's like saluting. He's just trying to get the crowd going. And Judge is like, no, man, chill. Like,
I do think it's who he is. I really do.
I think he's true to himself, yes.
But I do think it just shows you how hard it is to be a Yankee because everything you say and do is dissected and analyzed to where it makes you a robot. That's why Jeter was the way that he was, because he knew if I say anything wrong, somebody's going to get back to me. Now, Jeter didn't care necessarily, but I think Judge does. I don't think Judge wants to be hated. I don't think Judge wants to be disliked at all. But when you just imagine living life knowing everything that you say. Somebody is going to have an opinion on it. Millions of people are going to comment on it. It's got to be exhausting.
Well,
we do it for a living, but it's what we do for a living. We accept that as sports radio, that our opinions are going to be dissected and analyzed. Now, times it by 1,000, and it's not what he does for a living. Public speaking is not his strong suit. Right. It's playing baseball.
Right.
We're paid to talk, so we don't have a kick coming. But it's got to be exhausting, right? You can't say anything off the cuff because you got to go over it. All right, what if I say it this way? Well, if you say it this way, they might take it this way. So you better put it. It's oh my God! It just. That's why these guys don't want to friggin' talk.
This is the life of being a Yankee great. This is what DiMaggio went through. Ruth went through this. Mantle went through this. They all went through it. Reggie. Like, everything they did was dissected and criticized, and also, everything you do is criticized harsher and praised more than anywhere else, right? And that's just judges living that life. It's how you handle it. And the problem right now is he needs a moment. He needs a moment. It didn't happen in the WBC. All those who wanted to tear him down couldn't wait for it to happen. We predicted. Peter, you and I had this conversation Tuesday. Mm-hmm. We were saying this is going to happen if he goes. And Don, I actually said, I can't believe I said if he goes 0 for 4 with 3 strikeouts. That's what I said. And sure enough, that's what he did. And it's just sad, but it's so predictable that now I'll tell you what, I'm more galvanized than ever about wanting to see this guy have another dominant season. But I also want to see him. I'll use the way you love to describe it. I want the WBC experience to be the first chapter of the DVD. When Aaron Judge failed again, and they started doubting him and his greatness.
That's right.
Then the season began, right? And he's just like,
and then he's on a tear,
right? That feels like the end game has to be where he has the last laugh.
I think it was you that said it, Alan. Like when I was listening, that the pressure was kind of off him after the Harper home run. Because now he's not making the last.
That was me. That was my theory.
Yeah, it's like, oh, okay. Because now it's at least tied. I
disagree.
No,
the building was, as you would say, up for grabs. You got the crowd finally on your side. You have momentum.
I get it.
Maybe Venezuela was reeling. Now all of a sudden up comes. I mean, this is a Bunyan-esque home run.
But ultimate. But Alan, in all sports. Like, the ultimate buzzer beater isn't tied game. It's when you're down 1. The ultimate pressure in sports is when if you fail, you don't win.
Right.
You lose. In this case, at least he had the tie, right? So, just have a relaxed at bat. You don't need a home run. Keep the thing going. Get on base. And he just looked he shrunk. I hate that I say that, but he shrunk in the moment again.
800-919-3776. So, again, the conversation with Judge and the WBC, it continues because it is still such a big part of things as baseball is just around the corner. Keeping an eye on March Madness, already a couple of upsets and one near upset as well that we've been following. And Knicks tickets to give away coming up next as well. You don't want to miss that. Don Hahn Rosenberg, ESPN New York.
5th-seeded St. John's kicks off their March Madness tournament in San Diego against 12th-seeded Northern Iowa. Coverage begins Friday at 7 on 1050 ESPN.
Long Island is more exciting than ever at Jake's 58 Casino Hotel. This month, you'll be feeling March magic when you win your share of $50,000 cash during our Rainbow Riches drawing. Be here every Wednesday in March from 2 to 7 p.m. Each hour, one lucky guest is drawn to win up to $5,000 cash. Earn entry starting at 12:30 p.m. Come chase the rainbow every Wednesday in March, where Long Island wins at Jake's 58 Casino Hotel.
If gambling is a problem for you or someone you care about, please call the 24-hour toll-free helpline at 1-877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY.
If you love great food and smart prices, you need to know about Wild Fork Foods. Right now, beef tenderloin is only $10 a pound, and Atlantic salmon portions are just $9.98 a pound. That's serious value on awesome quality cuts. Plus, Wild Fork offers over 450 meat and seafood options, all blast frozen to lock in freshness and flavor. Visit one of their 7 stores across Long Island and New Jersey, or get same-day delivery at wildforkfoods.com.
Attention New York Verizon mobile customers. Score a massive win with award-winning Fios Home Internet for an incredible $20 a month guaranteed for 3 years. Switch today for savings you can count on. Call 1-800-VERIZON now. For new Fios customers with AutoPay, mobile and home discount enrollment required. 3-year price guarantee applies to the Fios base monthly rate only. Additional terms apply.
I know that hiring can be challenging. You sort through tons of resumes and you get too many so-so applicants. You're just waiting for someone to match your role perfectly. Well, now, there's a place where you can meet them fast. ZipRecruiter.
Need to hire right away. Start your search for strong candidates. The right fit awaits. Build your team. Build it sooner. Meet your match on ZipRecruiter.
Just head to ZipRecruiter.com/ESPN right now to try it for free, and you're on your way to meeting your match. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. So try it now. Go to ZipRecruiter.com/ESPN. Once again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/ESPN.
Meet your match on ZipRecruiter. Try it free.
Now it's time for traffic and Susie Cerrone.
Thanks, guys. It's only slightly better at the inbound link in that accident on 495 eastbound at Pleasant Avenue was gone. Still about a 30-minute delay. You'd save time at the inbound George or Holland instead. Police activity is still there. Belt eastbound at Knapp Street. Just the left lane gets by eastbound. You're jammed from 4th Avenue. Westbound belt at Knapp Street. Onlooker delays, but everything's open on the west side. And we still have this stalled white van on the LIE westbound at 80th Street. Police on the scene. Left lane out on the LIE westbound. You're backed up from Main Street. We're sponsored by Unbound.org. A girl in Kenya dreams of becoming a doctor. Reach out, change her world. It'll change your own. Unbound.org. I'm Susie Cerrone for 880 ESPN New York.
As America's #1 motorcycle insurer, Progressive has your back.
Oh, like replacing my bike in case of an accident?
Progressive's total loss coverage can help with that.
Great. And you also agree with me that my riding club should ride to the aquarium instead of cruising around a mountain, right?
Actually, we just do insurance. We don't vote in riding clubs.
Nice. 2 votes for the turtle exhibit.
To be clear, Progressive has your back for insurance only. So get a quote and see if you can save.
What are you, some kind of turtle hater?
Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Covered subject to policy terms, limits, and conditions.
During Lowe's Pro Savings Days, the job works in your favor. My Lowe's Pro Rewards members buy more and save more on materials they rely on every day. Get up to 25% off select molding when you spend $1,000 or more, and up to 25% off Pergo Evercraft laminate flooring. Put Pro Savings Days to work for you. Members get more at Lowe's. Valid through 3/27. Selection varies by location. While supplies last. Loyalty program subject to terms and conditions. Visit the Pro Desk or Lowe's.com/terms for more details. Subject to change.
All right, let's do a game time, boys. Brought to you by Tullamore Dew Irish Whiskey, because when it's game time...
I like that.
It's totally time.
It sure is. Rangers visit Columbus. That'd be the Blue Jackets to you and me.
Yeah.
Every Islander fan watching this one closely, suddenly huge Ranger fans tonight. Coverage immediately follows us on 880 at 6:30. And speaking of the Islanders, they're in Ottawa. They're facing the Senators at 7. See, this is the time of year, Don, where it's suddenly, you're starting to root for your rival, the team you hate, because you need them to win to help you in the standings. And for the Islanders, you're looking at the Blue Jackets. You want to make sure that they don't get any more cheap points. They're getting a lot of cheap points lately.
Well, Columbus is only 3 points back of the Islanders with a game in hand.
Yes, sir. And look at how many points they've gotten in overtime.
And 11.
Yeah, that's.
And then Ottawa is still 6 points back, but a game in hand. So if they beat the Islanders in regulation, all of a sudden they're only 4 points back with a game in hand. So
there you go.
Very, very tight races down the stretch.
That is, of course, Game Time brought to you by Tullamore Dew, the original triple distilled, triple blended, triple cask matured Irish whiskey. Be sure to grab a Tullamore Dew or try the new Tullamore Dew Honey during today's action. Glasses up to enjoying Tullamore Dew responsibly. Some Islander news, by the way. Don, you remember the day that they moved their AHL affiliate, I believe it was in Lowell, Massachusetts?
Right.
And they moved it to Bridgeport.
Mm-hmm.
And it was such a smart move, right nearby. Islanders were in Bridgeport. They called them the Sound Tigers for a while. Then they changed the name to Islanders. They had that arena in Bridgeport. They have officially announced that is no longer They'll be moving that team to Hamilton, Ontario for the start of next season.
That's a shame.
So hockey in Bridgeport, at least from the AHL perspective, is no more. And that was quite a run. That's 20-something years, right?
At least, right? Because wasn't did DiPietro played for the
Rick was there, yeah. Steve Valiquette, our good friend, was with Hartford. Those were some games. Hartford and Bridgeport became like the Islander Ranger rivalry adjacent, as Peter would say.
His name escapes me, and I apologize for that. I'd look it up quick, but I don't want to waste too much time. But the Devils announcer moved on to Bridgeport because the Bridgeport announcer is now is one that replaced Chris King, correct? Alan
Furing?
Yeah. So unless he's going to Hamilton, I don't know if he's going to lose his job.
But it's tough. You're going all the way. Hamilton, obviously, it's a great hockey town. Like they'll get crowds and all the things that you want.
No, they if you remember, this is going back 15 years ago. The Nashville Predators, it was like that they were going to move to Hamilton, and it was like almost a done deal. In the last second, Nashville was able to keep the team, and they were better for it. So Hamilton's been looking for a team. It's right, near Toronto, and
but it's just tough when you're trying to bring a player. You want to get a player to come in.
No, it's like
Rick used to do that drive up and back. When before he was a full-time Islander, they had him there, and believe it or not, he was in the. Remember the Chicago Wolves?
Oh yeah,
Rick was on that for a while too, before he was a full-time Islander. So
that was an IHL team.
That was IHL, correct? Yeah, he was with a lot of veteran, old school players. That must have been something for an 18-year-old. But when everybody wonders why Rick is the way he is, you got to understand the road and the experiences that he had through some of his formative years.
There's a little damage there.
You could say.
How was he yesterday? Good?
He was great.
He's always good with that.
A lot of fun. He and Peter canoodling, getting along really well.
We did.
And then he drops that text message today. That's not.
Well, that's the thing. That's the thing.
But that's what it's about.
It's almost fraudulent. Quickly, we had a caller that.
No, I was going to bring this up, Don.
Yeah,
and before, and you can ask the guys. I brought this up once, and before we even got the call, then I saw the call, and I said, "Oh, good. Now I have a reason to bring it up because I don't want you to feel a certain way." But we have noticed, as now I'm going to bring up more things that happen on our air while we're in break. But Don LaGreca has one of his reads
for
Viking Pest Control.
Viking, yes,
and it's great. Right. And you talk about different pests that you want to eliminate, including
cockroach.
Yeah,
I've heard that
cockroach, which sounds a lot like.
Well, there's an A in it.
I buried those cockroaches.
Well, I don't think I'm accenting it that way, but am I saying it incorrectly?
No, the word is definitely not cockroach. The word
there's no extra A in there.
Yeah, the word is cockroach. I think the reason it gets the cockroach treatment is because of the word cucaracha.
No, because
which is Spanish.
Which is I think Spanish for cockroach.
But it's COCK. Is it right to roach?
That's a handful.
Yep.
Well, it goes right to roach, right? No, it goes right to roach. There's no
Okay.
You thought it was. Hold on. You thought the word was spelled with an A in the middle?
I don't know.
He clearly did.
No. Let's play it. We got it. We have to, as a family, work through.
I don't know. Just cockroach. That's it.
That's it.
That's it. Like Theo's best friend on the Cosby Show. Cockroach.
58 years old, and it's not something that luckily we don't have any here at the house.
God bless.
Because
all right, I learned something new every day. I'm sorry. Wow. Listen.
So if you were writing this, if you had written the copy down, you would have written cockroach with an A in the middle.
No, I was thrown off because the way the call, the slug on the call spelled it with the A between, so it didn't look wrong to me. But the copy doesn't have the A. I didn't know. How often do you write cockroach? So
I
cockroach.
Wouldn't say you'd write it. How often do you say it?
Yeah. All right. I mean, I'm sure I'm going to say it wrong because I've been saying it and nobody's ever corrected me.
I say you stick with it because it worked for Scarface. It worked for Tony Montana.
Those cockroaches.
Tony Montana.
Now, Anthony claims that both are acceptable, but it doesn't sound like that's the case.
How are both acceptable if it's not?
You going to question Tony Montana?
Well, I mean, see, now you're leading me.
That's a script.
He had me convinced that maybe it was something.
I live in Brooklyn. Everybody says it that way. That doesn't mean it's right. It means I heard it a lot.
It's not like radiator, or my father, my dad's famous one where he always called it wrestling.
Yeah, wrestling, right? No, I think that's also different. But I think, first of all, I find it endearing, and I want you to keep doing it.
Well, no, but that's not the way I'm taking it. I'm taking it as that I'm a moron. I'm 58 years old.
You see
really,
what you do.
No,
you see
no,
what
you
happens.
know what it is?
Why does he have to go here?
I should take it. I should take it as a
goes
compliment.
back to the moron thing, Peter. He's never going to get over it.
Every day.
I guess you're right.
Every day, I've held a record for completing Hail Mary passes. Every day. Every day I do something. It's a minor miracle.
All Alan thought was that it's funny that your accent is cockroach,
and
but
it's
then
just
you,
in the read. It draws me in because you just cockroach.
I don't know
get
what
excited.
happened to me.
Here it comes. Here it
there
comes.
There was a moment when I was in college. There was a speech expert that came into one of our communication classes.
Okay,
and he said he would give us certain words to say, and he would be able to tell us not only where we were from, but where our ancestors were from, just by the way we'd say certain words.
Stop it.
And I was the one guy he couldn't figure out where I was from. And he's like, you really have a future in this business, man, because you don't have an accent. But apparently I've developed one, and it's called moron.
Wait, Don LaGreca doesn't have a... You don't have a New York accent?
No, he's from Jersey.
Oh, you know what I mean.
He doesn't have a Jersey accent either.
Yeah, I don't.
When he gets mad, he does.
I say things wrong because I'm simple, but I don't have... I don't think I have a Jersey accent or a New York accent or anything like that. I have what they call just ignorance.
I'm simple.
It's
simple.
Really, honestly.
Peter, do you find it endearing? I find it in the read, like when we hear him do, when the spot comes up, there's something once it goes to cockroach. It's
Natalie says, I think Natalie says cockroach. Like a lot of people say it. It's just
I'm
funny.
Sure.
But Don
Don's
did add to it. But he did add to it by saying he thought it was spelled cockroach also.
No, I never thought about it until I saw it up on the slide, and I thought maybe it didn't look wrong.
I think it's great.
I think if I spelled it, I wouldn't spell it with the A, but it's not a word.
No, it's not. We're not using it every day, and if you are, you've got a problem and you need Viking.
That's a great point.
The scene in Forrest Gump where he's running and the braces break off, that's every day I walk into the radio station.
Okay.
It's another small miracle that I still have a job. And the Devil's when I got the Devil's job, it's the equivalent of turning water into wine.
This is it, right? This is Make-A-Wish. Is that what you're saying? Like, come on,
Make-A-Wish.
you know
what? I think
are you kidding
went
me?
a little too far.
I'm sorry. You're the one that's talking about miracles and braces coming off your legs.
Yeah, I think it was fair.
One of the most accomplished broadcasters we have in New York, and it's a miracle every day.
Cockroach.
It was one word.
I can't say.
I couldn't say anonymity.
Succumb.
I couldn't do it.
No, you still can't.
I think I said it right.
No, he nailed
I've been working on that, man. I've been in the car. I've been saying that word to the windshield. You wouldn't believe it because I don't want to get it wrong.
This is really
anonymity.
This is really the perfect storm of giving Donna Reed and a Brooklyn guy the person to edit it, and going cockroaches. What's the problem? I don't understand.
Yeah, this is a cockroach.
Right.
That's what I say.
And this
it
is how
it wouldn't be the first read where nobody is corrected.
Those cockroaches. See, sounds good to me.
But this is how we get drop madness.
We got people here that didn't know what St. Joseph's pastries were today. Okay, let's.
I did. Again,
I need
this
to
is where
revisit
we've
that.
got to educate people.
That movie's a classic.
Mm-hmm.
Although it's more of a video classic. It didn't do well in the theaters at all, but it picked up a new life later on in video. I need to watch that again. It's been too long. Like, for the way that I watch Goodfellas and Casino and The Godfather, I need to get that in more of a rotation.
I agree.
But I did have a quick movie review if you want to do it at some point. But you don't have to. There's always tomorrow.
Oh, yeah, when's the... Damn, after the break, can we get the movie review, though? You've been teasing this.
We will get them.
I want to know the movie review.
No, I wasn't being
15 minutes
snotty.
on
I'm just
cockroach.
saying, we get tomorrow, too.
That is, the way you did it and then took a drink, it was so... It's like, we could do it tomorrow. Yeah. You just went right to the drink. Like,
was it like Kermit sipping the tea?
You were just so done. All right, before we get to Don's movie review, your calls and more, and of course ENN at 6 as well. ESPN New York is teaming up with Calandra's Bakery to give away a pair of tickets to see the New York Knicks take on the Charlotte Hornets Sunday, April 12th. As I've said, the Hornets, they're doing pretty good. They play hard. They do good. It's easy to enter. Just stop by Calandra's Bakery. Do it yourself in person. We were there yesterday. You'll love it there. 234 Bloomfield Avenue in Caldwell, New Jersey, before April 7th. You have to get there before April 7th. You can enter in person. It's, of course, brought to you by Calandra's Bakery in Caldwell, home of the fresh bread, classic Italian pastries, and traditions baked daily. So, Don's movie review. Your calls at 800-919-3776. And we have to now find something that Peter has said wrong because we're just picking on each other today, and it's been a lot of fun. Don Hahn, Rosenberg, ESPN, New York.
Fifth-seeded St. John's kicks off their March Madness tournament in San Diego against 12th-seeded Northern Iowa. Coverage begins Friday at 7 on 1050 ESPN.
Hey, it's Michael Kay, and I love when I get to talk about my friends at PC Richard & Son. It's a local company, family-owned, and I trust them, and you should too. Right now, get tax season savings, up to 35% off select categories, plus save an additional 8.875% off hundreds of items throughout the store. And in-home delivery is free. Great savings, great service. It's what they do. Get tax season savings at PC Richard & Son today. Some exclusions apply. Free delivery on mattresses, $399 and up, excludes Manhattan.
This is Rick Brunson, the assistant coach from the New York Knicks. I'll be driving to our games this season in style in my new Jeep Gladiator from Princeton Jeep. My friends at Princeton Jeep gave me all-star treatment, and you can expect the same thing. Just mention I sent you, and they'll treat you like family. Princeton Jeep has tons of inventory and great deals on new vehicles. Visit Princeton Jeep at 1045 State Road in Princeton, New Jersey, or online at PrincetonJeeps.com and tell them Rick Brunson sent you.
Good Karma Brands is proud to be an equal opportunity employer, providing equal employment, development, and advancement opportunities to all teammates and applicants. To learn more about careers with us, please send an email to talentacquisition@goodkarmabrands.com. That's talentacquisition@goodkarmabrands.com.
Score up to a $50 bonus bet daily during March matchups with BetMGM's free-to-play fast break game. Log in to BetMGM, play as the point guard, and choose to pass or go for a dunk. If you score, you'll win either a $50 bonus bet or boost token. The ball is always in your court with BetMGM, where you can take advantage of special offers and earn rewards points on every bet. Make a fast break during March matchups by playing as the point guard for your daily shot at a $50 bonus bet or boost token. BetMGM.com is where you can find full prize details and terms. BetMGM and GameSense remind you to play responsibly. Gambling problem? Call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369. See BetMGM.com for terms. 21 plus years of age to wager and physically present in New York only. New and existing customer offer, subject to eligibility requirements. Additional terms and restrictions may apply. All rewards expire in 24 hours.
Hi, this is Don LaGreca. Just like the New Jersey Devils protect their home ice, Viking Pest Control protects your home. And I know because I use Viking at my own place. As the pest control provider and proud partner of the New Jersey Devils, Viking brings 45 years of trusted experience and expert service to keep ants, cockroaches, stinging insects, rodents, and even mosquitoes out of your zone. Their local team builds a personalized game plan that actually works. And when you bundle pest control and mosquito services, you score big savings. One call, one company, total peace of mind. Visit VikingPest.com. Protecting your home inside and out.
This college basketball tournament moment is brought to you by Marriott Bonvoy.
Has won the Big East Championship. Fresh off winning 5 games in 5 days to win the 2011 Big East Tournament, the UConn Huskies enter the NCAA Tournament as the 3 seed in the West, including a 36-point performance by Kemba Walker in the Sweet 16. The run to the Huskies' 3rd national championship was one of the most remarkable postseason runs in college basketball history.
Marriott Bonvoy, where game day checks in.
Evan Cohen here. Game day brings the excitement. Your stay should feel just as memorable. With Marriott Bonvoy, official hotel partner of the NCAA and U.S. Soccer, you're connected to a portfolio of brands designed for how you travel. Some offer complimentary breakfast, others give you room to spread out, space to stay productive, or extended stay comforts. So whether you're a traveling fan or part of the team, Marriott Bonvoy celebrates the moments that live on before and after the game. Marriott Bonvoy, where game day checks in.
Step inside the game you love with the NBA app. Tap to watch every game as it's happening.
Jalen Brunson does it again!
And never miss a moment of the jaw-dropping action. Get closer to the players than anywhere else. Follow the latest schedules, scores, and stats. Keep up with every story from across the league. And with NBA ID, it's all personalized to you. The game lives here. Download today.
Big Daddy Kane. Hey, let's do another game time, boys. Brought to you by
Please.
Tullamore Dew Irish Whiskey, because when it's game time,
It's Tully time.
It's Tully time.
Rangers Blue Jackets in Columbus. That coverage immediately follows us on 880 at 6:30. So, yes, note the start time. We're a 6:30 vehicle today. We have ENN next, and then Rangers hockey follows us. And the Islanders, they're in Ottawa, taking on the Senators at 7. Tullamore Dew, the original triple distilled, triple blended, triple cask matured Irish whiskey. Be sure to grab a Tullamore Dew or try the new Tullamore Dew honey during today's action. Glasses up to enjoying Tullamore Dew responsibly. Donnie?
So, I'm sick, right? So, I'm in bed. Figure I'll catch up on some movies. And I didn't see any of the movies that were up for Best Picture.
Oh, God bless.
So... And I'm a big Paul Thomas Anderson fan, so I'm like, I got to see.
That's PTA to you and me.
It is not, but okay.
Very well done. Very well acted.
Yeah.
Dear God, it's a mess. Movie's a mess.
You think the movie's a mess?
Well, I mean, I don't want to give too much away, so if anybody didn't see it, turn away.
Well, okay, go ahead.
But like Perfedia, the Bob's love interest, pure evil. Like, what is she? Is she good? She's obviously on the side of good. She's trying to do things to help people, but then she rats them out, never goes back to see her daughter. And what's she doing with Lockjaw? And Lockjaw, what kind of character is that? How disturbing was he?
Very disturbing.
Like, disturbing to the point of, like, not natural, not real. Very weird.
Yeah. Very weird.
And I don't know, who's the kingpin in all this? Is there a president? What's being suggested here?
Well, you're saying a lot of things that are interesting and compelling. I don't think any of them make the movie a mess. I think
it's a mess because you don't know what's going on. Again, it's very well acted, and I understand why it was Best Picture, especially the topic matter.
Oh, I think the Tiana Taylor character, though, you're supposed to think is kind of crazy. She was very passionate in one direction. Then she starts to lose it. Then she suffers from like postpartum depression and loses her mind even further. Then she just like I think it's a story of someone who's kind of going mad.
But the letter at the end doesn't make any sense because she's not anybody you want to reconnect with anyway. And then the other thing is like so they're not on the run anymore. And Bob, played by Leonardo DiCaprio, he's the biggest mess.
But
he's
I love
supposed to be good, but he's not a great father. He completely screws everything up. Like there isn't anybody to be celebrated here. There is no hero.
No, well, Bob's character is an anti-hero. That's what makes the movie funny. He's a hilarious character. I don't think you're supposed to go, I really like that Leo character. That's like a poster I want on my wall. He's a stoned weirdo. I love his character. He's one of my favorite Leo characters of all time.
But you have to root for them, but they're not that great. I mean, it's almost like Unforgiven in the sense that the hero's not a hero. It's that it's the lesser of two evils.
Yeah,
but I still don't know who's in charge of this whole thing.
I think you're expressing. So, did you like the movie or not?
I'm not sure. I'll tell you what. I won't watch it again. But I thought it was done well. Then the next day, I finally got around to watching Happy Gilmore 2, and I laughed through the entire movie. I thought it was absolutely fabulous.
I thought Happy Gilmore 2 was very well done. I really enjoyed it.
Because that's exact. So from an entertainment standpoint, it was like one battle after another was like filet mignon, right? Like high end. You like it. But that it was just like Taco Bell with Happy Gilmore 2. It was just I enjoyed the heck out of that movie. Obviously, we never win Best Picture, but the cameos.
It was underrated. It was underrated.
I thought it was terrific. Absolutely terrific. And one battle after another. I get it, but there's a lot going on there that like.
So Don's quick movie reviews. One Battle After Another, directed by Paul Thomas Anderson, which just won Best Picture at the Oscars.
Yes.
Fine. Happy Gilmore 2, starring Adam Sandler and Bad Bunny, 5 out of 5.
You know what? Bad Bunny.
He was tremendous. No, he was great.
Tremendous.
No, he was.
Matter of fact, I didn't even realize it was him.
Yeah.
No, he was great. He was a sleeper bonus in the movie.
It was
really good.
He was so good. But that's the problem. Because it's dumbed down as a comedy, nobody would ever give it any credit. But from an the 2 hours watching that was way more entertaining than the 2:45 watching one battle after another. And listen, I'm a Paul Thomas Anderson fan. I love There Will Be Blood. I love movies like that. But there's so many things I need to investigate, but I just don't know if I have the energy to do it. And Lockjaw was just too disturbing.
Last thing on this, I thought the way end, like the Lockjaw close, I thought was totally unnecessary. I was like, why couldn't he have just been dead on the side of the road? I didn't know why we needed it.
But you know what ruined it for me?
The
I
Oscars.
watched the end of the Oscars, so I knew it was coming.
Yeah, that happened.
So I put 2 and 2 together. So maybe it would have hit me different if I didn't see the end of the Oscars. I'm sorry, Alan, if you know what we're talking about.
You guys might as well be
I'm telling you,
Japanese.
Don't
I
bother.
have no idea what's going on.
Unless you're a
enough
fan,
bandwidth to watch any movies right now.
But
you got no travel coming up?
No, my
But-
travel.
Don, you got to watch. You got to go watch Begonia.
All right.
You should add Begonia to your list immediately. You'll
Is there
really
any
enjoy
reasons
it.
why?
I just think you'll like it. I think it's
Okay.
just it's funny and weird and interesting and good.
Well, there's a lot of reasons why people buy at Ramsey Mazda. It's their selection, it's their customer service, and it's their savings.
No, he's good.
Lease a new 2026 Mazda CX-30 2.5S preferred all-wheel drive for $219 for 36 months. Start shopping now at RamseyMazda.com. Choose wisely. Choose Ramsey Mazda. Call 833-853-2970 for details. VIN TM108368. MSRP $31,000, $435. Zero security deposit, ends 3/31/26. I'm sorry, Alan.
ENN.
Oh, yeah.
Next.
Buckle up, baby.
25 a month, 5 whole years. Same sweet number in your ears. Check it in a year, check it in 5. This ain't optimum 5, but price is still alive. 25 a month, 5 whole years. Same sweet number in your ears. Get Optimum famously fast fiber internet. Optimum.com/25 for 5. Or call 8884-OPTIMUM. Terms apply. See Optimum.com for details.
Everyone needs to take care of their mental health, even running back Bijan Robinson.
When I'm on the field and feeling the pressure, I usually just take a deep breath. When I'm just breathing and seeing what's in front of me, everything just slows down. It just makes me feel great before I run the play.
Just like Bijan, we all need a strong mental game on and off the field. Make a game plan for your mental health at loveyourmindplaybook.org.
Love your mind.
Brought to you by the Huntsman Mental Health Foundation, the Arthur M. Blank Family Foundation, and the Ad Council.
Right now, FanDuel's dropping bonus bets into everyone's account for the tournament. All you have to do is opt in to claim your bonus. Use them on your bracket picks, money lines, spreads, totals, game props, or even same-game parlays. But don't wait. These bonus bets are only available for a limited time. Just visit FanDuel.com/local to learn more. Right now, FanDuel's dropping bonus bets into everyone's account for the tournament. All you have to do is opt in to claim your bonus. Use them on your bracket picks, money lines, spreads, totals, game props, or even same-game parlays. But don't wait. These bonus bets are only available for a limited time. 21 and over in physically present New York. Bonus issued as non-withdrawable bonus bets, which expire 7 days after receipt. Max bonus $500 unless otherwise specified. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. For help with a gambling problem, call 877-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369.
Now it's time for traffic and Susie Cerrone.
Thanks, guys. Now it's forget about the LIE through Queens. Stick with the Grand Central instead because there is a stall on the LIE Eastman at Woodhaven Boulevard in the left lane. Crash on the LIE Eastman at Casino Boulevard. A stall on the LIE Eastman at the Cross Island, each taking out a lane. And still this white van on the LIE Westman at 80th Street in the left lane. Crash on the northbound Gowanus and Atlantic Avenue. Police activity still single laning on the Belt Eastman at Knapp Street. The left lane is the only lane open eastbound. Onlooker delays westbound. Inbound Hudson River crossing still about 20 minutes apiece from earlier issues at the Lincoln. I'm Susie Cerrone for 880 ESPN New York.
This is a special notice to U.S. taxpayers owing $10,000 or more to the IRS. Tax Relief Advocates is urgently notifying taxpayers that tax relief initiatives are now available that may significantly reduce or eliminate what you owe. If you're afraid of an IRS lien, levy, or wage garnishment, don't lose hope. You can now take advantage of these current relief programs to end all collections, reduce the amount you owe, and resolve your tax problem. Even if you have years of unfiled tax returns or are already in a payment plan, you may still qualify for significant relief. Struggling taxpayers can now get relief they need during these hard economic times. A hotline has been established by Tax Relief Advocates for you to call and see what you qualify for. They are A+ rated with the BBB and have over 1,000 5-star reviews. Don't wait. Call 800-575-9087, 800-575-9087. That's 800-575-9087, or simply visit TRA.com.
Hey, this is Mika Zibanejad.
Hey, this is Adam Fox. Catch every Rangers game right here on 880 ESPN.
WHSQ and WCBS-FM HD2, New York. This is an ENN Special Report. Now reporting.
The very handsome Jewish man, Peter Rosenberg.
We should talk some sports. Do what you want. It's ENN.
Hi, everyone. Welcome to ENN, brought to you by Ramsey Mazda.
And cockroaches.
I think it's cockroaches.
It's on Ray-Ro, folks.
Ray-Ro.
It's also on.
You ever watch YouTube?
There.
You knew that, though, didn't you?
Yeah, we did.
For God's sake. Let's start off by saying good evening to Don.
I suck.
You think that's better than the clean one?
What do you mean?
Well, I did one today too.
Yeah, there was one.
Oh, well, no, this was real. It's not about
you were
clean.
sick.
It was
it's a whole thing.
Yeah,
his sanctimony is just tremendous.
Yeah, no. Good evening to Don.
I say things wrong because I'm simple.
Let's say good evening to Don.
When I got the devil's job, it's the equivalent of turning water into wine.
Good,
Come on.
Good evening to Alan.
They play hard. They play good.
How do you feel here in a pack?
Not good. They play hard. They play good. Yeah, they play good.
It's caveman Hahn.
They do basketball good.
They do ball. They do ball
Listen,
basket.
Listen. I haven't won an Emmy as an analyst yet. Okay, there's a reason why. There it is.
That's it. You nailed it. And also, let's say good evening to Tony Montana.
I buried those cockroaches!
That's right.
And the spot came on right after we talked about it.
I know. Then I heard it back. I'm like, oh, that's.
Did you hear the straw in the middle of the commercial?
I did. I got to re-record that, Anthony, at some point.
So good. No, leave it.
Now, let's hear from John Starks.
Really?
John Starks, you said?
Yeah. He was on Unsportsmanlike, and he told an interesting story about finding out about the O.J. chase, the Bronco, during the finals game. Yeah.
When we came back in for halftime, like we have a room like this, and we walking through where we sit and watch television, and we seen it on TV. We was looking at O.J. going down the highway, and we was like, that's O.J. Yeah, that's O.J. And everybody was like, okay, we go into the locker room, we sitting down, and Coach Riley going over his speech, and it was all wah, wah, wah. We weren't even trying to hear all that. We like, why are they chasing O.J.? As soon as he said, all right, break, we all shot back in there and started watching TV.
I love how he did the Peanuts teacher voice. Wah, 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 wah. Like that's Pat Riley. Well, they won that game, by the way. Most of America did not see Patrick Ewing's greatest game as a Knick.
Well, that's crazy.
Isn't that crazy?
At least New York got to see it in a little box.
In a box, right. Yeah, but still.
That is crazy.
Just wild. I was thinking of Sunday when NBC did the game. Costas was courtside for NBC, and I looking there, seeing him on the court. It's the first thing I thought of. Was in that same spot he was sitting, and they went to him, and he had to throw to NBC News to break away from the game because of something that none of us even knew what the hell we were about to see. Yeah. Right? Think about that. It's a crazy, amazing moment.
Very surreal.
But I love John.
Good little get from Unsportsmanlike. It's a good story to get from Starks.
Yeah.
You know, we talked to Starks many times. I've never really talked to him about that day in particular.
Well, next time we get him on, now we have to make him tell the story. See if he does the Peanuts voice for Pat Riley again. That'd be great.
The what voice now? You said Peanuts.
Peanuts teacher.
Just making sure.
No?
Raheem Mostert went on Fox Sports Radio, had some things to say about Mike McDaniel as a head coach in Miami.
We had a good relationship going into, the Dolphins organization, but obviously things kind of flustered and went their own ways. But, at the beginning of everything, there's always a good story and good telling. We did everything that we possibly could to maximize the opportunities that were given to us. And then, he's a great coach. Listens to guys that are talking to you. He'll listen and give them some advice. But head coach-wise, obviously, the past couple of years, what they've been going through has just been kind of rough. And I kind of feel bad for the players, just because, when you have a coach that is so player friendly, it doesn't really mix all that well. Look at the coaching history, not just in the NFL, but, MLB, NBA, these sports franchises, they have coaches that implement toughness, resilience, and that's something that he kind of missed the mark on in being a head coach.
Something he missed the mark on as a coach.
It's really difficult to fire a team up when you're wearing capris.
You think so?
You think that's the biggest issue?
Yeah, by far.
You think it's his look? The fact that he walks in the locker room and they look at him like, this dude? Like, how am I getting excited?
I think that's part of it. I mean, should it be part of it? No. But
it's human nature.
I think it's just human nature when you look at, especially when you never played, right? So there's always that hill you got to overcome. But when you look like you're going out for a day in a beach instead of a football team, I don't know. It's stereotypes. I get it, and there's probably examples where that wasn't the case. But it's hard to play that role. I think don't you think it makes it more difficult to do it if you don't have the look, and you're already not a former player? It's probably difficult to command the room. I'm sorry. I think even talking on radio, the sound of your voice is something. The power behind what you have to say, it just hits different.
I'll back you up on this because Bart has said this many times. We all know Bart is unfiltered, right? So what he says, you take for that's how he really feels. And he has often said that. Athletes are the most critical of humans. And they'll tell you, like, that's just how it is. And image is everything. What you look like, what you sound like, all that stuff. And right away, if it doesn't hit, it's over. It's so important. The first impression thing to athletes might be the most important one. Consistency is important too, but that he's always said that. There's certain guys where, like he has said, there's been players who've tried to be leaders in a locker room, and the minute they start, it's like guys are just like, no. That's not you. And they tell you to sit down. It's a real thing. So maybe that's part of his problem is him standing in front of a room dressed the way he dresses, and his look it might be something that guys. How are you getting fired up for that?
It's just too casual.
Listen, it could have all worked. It could have all worked if you were so good that it led to your team winning. Like if your brain was so good and the schemes were so good and the thought process was so good that your team was dominant. Right. You could look like a complete yo-yo. It wouldn't matter. But when you don't do that, though, Don, now we got to start looking at everything else. And you're like, oh, this guy. What are we doing?
Well, because I don't think Tony Dungy had people scared of him. He didn't fire Varun. He looked like he was a soft-spoken guy, but he got it done. Dick Vermeil was known for being a crier. Didn't come across as any kind of a tough guy, but he made it work when his teams were good enough. to win, right? So there's different.
But they were older guys, Don. Like, you know what I mean? Like when you're almost like close to the age of the players, that's like they don't look at you as like a grown man with experience and all that stuff. Like, again, Dungy was a respected guy,
right?
I think and Vermeil, because he had put in years in the league, so you have that. I think it's more of like McVay. McVay, the boy wonder. He was a kid, but he's also a psycho. Like he's just like they could relate to his energy and his passion and all that stuff. That was just a little more relatable, which is why I think it has worked for a guy like him.
Well, I just go by the press conferences. Whenever he would have a press conference, it would almost be like you would just want to lay back and just
light one up.
Yeah, that's what because that's why the AI really worked with him, because he does sound like he's AI. Remember all the AI stuff that they would have on social media with him saying like outrageous stuff? It was so believable because that's how he normally sounds.
Yeah, he gives AI. Matt Leinart, throwback show, and he talked about not allowing his number to be retired.
When I was at USC, I got my number retired. There's been multiple times where people at USC have asked me if I would unretire my jersey for some 5-star prospect. And do you want to know what I told those guys straight up? Absolute not. I am never going to unretire my jersey for some random dude who, by the way, now could wear number 11 and transfer after a year.
So true.
Sorry.
He's
right. Blame him?
No.
Not at all.
Oh, and in particular, like college is so transient at this point.
Well, like the last thing he said.
It's like
really true.
Yeah, the idea of doing it like in the pros, like if you had a career with a pro team, and maybe you were there forever, and they were like, hey, this is still going to be your number. It'll only be retired as your number, but we want so and so. Like, I could see a world in which maybe if you're still connected to the team, you might think, well, that guy's going to be there a long time. It's what I don't know. It still feels weird.
Well, Rodgers and Namath.
Right.
Namath said he would allow him to wear 12 because he was Aaron Rodgers.
Right.
But you saw what happened with the Giants when Carter came in wanting to wear number 56, wanting to wear number 11. No. You haven't done anything yet. At least Aaron Rodgers accomplished something in the NFL.
Now, can I also jump in here, and what has happened to the sanctity of a retired number, so that we've reached a point now, the boldness of asking, hey, I know we wanted to honor you by retiring your number, which is there a more ultimate honor than that for an athlete?
Pretty good.
Right? Like from your team, your number that you wore, blood, sweat, and tears, is now forever honored, and no one's going to wear it because of what you did for the franchise. And now it's like, hey, remember when we did that honor for you? We're going to take it back because we've got this kid that wants to wear the number, and he doesn't give a rip what you did because it happened a long time ago. That's we don't honor history anymore. Where is it now that we just decide like, hey, take that down? Now, if the player, like again, Joe Namath did that, Earl Monroe was going to do it for Carmelo Anthony when he came here. It's Melo didn't ask. It was, well, it's retired. Okay, well, what if it's all right? Well, I'm willing to let you wear it. Like that's kind of what. That's different if it comes from the player whose number was retired. He wants to do that for the player. But when you're asking, how, like Don, Peter, imagine getting that call from someone. How awkward of a call is that? Hey, Peter, can you do me a favor? Call Don and ask him if he wouldn't mind if we took his number down and let a player wear it. Are you making that call? Like, I'm not calling him and asking him that. The guy was a legend for us, and now he won championships. Now I'm going to ask him to give it back? I don't understand why this is just an acceptable practice now. It's okay to do it. It doesn't make sense. But it's because we are always catering to the next generation instead of, and that is leading us to no longer honor the generation that already gave.
Well, that's what happened with Flaherty, with the Giants, with Malik Neighbors.
Yeah, they did that, right?
And the family said, okay. And that's their decision, right? That was their father, their grandfather. But if I'm the Giants, I'm saying no. I'm not asking the family. His number's retired. Pick something else.
Right.
I've already drafted you. If you're that fickle that you're going to demand the number that's been retired and not play for me, then I made a mistake. Like, you just can't do it. The family's going to figure, all right, listen, maybe they think it's an honor. At least they're not thinking about my dad or my grandfather,
Well,
but now they will.
Remember what they said? It was this will bring more attention. It'll remind people, right, of who he was because it was so long ago, and maybe it'll get everybody to remember who he is, and it's another way to honor the player. I understand that. It's a nice thing to say, but I'm sorry. As a player, as a young player, the audacity to say that I want to wear a number that was already retired for a guy that did something for this franchise when I haven't done a damn thing yet. That's generational, man. I don't understand that.
See, if I was a member of the Flaherty family, I would tell him to go scratch, because even though my dad or my grandfather, whoever would be in the family, would see, all right, I'd get a little bit of attention, but now it's gone. All right, part of having your number retired is supposed to be forever, like. Having 56 and 11, like Carter had the audacity to ask for those numbers, and he was shut down. Yeah. We're still in real time with that because people do remember Lawrence Taylor and they remember Phil Simms. The great thing about having your number retired is when there's nobody left that was alive to see them, but the other generations look up and go, why is number 11 retired? Why is number 56 retired? Here's why. Because Lawrence Taylor was one of the greatest defensive players of all time. Phil Simms had almost a perfect Super Bowl. That it's not for the real time. It's not for the first 50 years. It's for the next 50 years, for the next 100 years. And now that's lost because now it belongs to neighbors, and I hope he becomes the next great. You say no. It's supposed to be forever. And you took that away. And to put the family in that position to say no is so – the Giants should have shut it down. No, I'm not making the call. You're not getting the number, period.
There you go.
End of story.
Yeah. Co-sign that.
Well, Don, very well said. And a perfect conversation for That Guy Thursday because it's a very that guy situation. Mm-hmm. Jack Hughes, well, he's that guy in a different way, the gold medalist. He was asked if he was surprised at the reaction to him wanting the golden goal puck.
No, I mean, listen, like, obviously honored that the puck's there. So, yeah, I mean, it's like the most special place in hockey. So, yeah, I mean, I'm honored that it's there, but obviously I think things were taken, crazy. Like, just that's the way I felt. And I didn't know where the puck was, so it is what it is.
If you don't know, there was conversation about Jack wanting the puck and it landing in the Hockey Hall of Fame.
Our very own Wyshynski asked him about it, interviewed him, and he said it was BS, that he couldn't keep the puck. But I think what he was saying is not that he didn't want it to be in the Hockey Hall of Fame, but, like, he didn't have a say. Like, usually when you score your 500th goal, you get to keep the puck. And it was never even offered. It was just taken and put into the Hockey Hall of Fame. He didn't have a say, and he thought that was BS. But he's a kid, and maybe he shouldn't have said that. And I guess it's not his puck. It belongs to, I guess, the IIHF or whatever, and then they put him in the Hockey Hall of Fame. But it kind of came across like he was being selfish or whatever. He probably just figured, why wouldn't I have a say? Then Sidney Crosby swoops in, and it's like, never mattered to me. I was just happy to score the goal. But, Sid's a veteran. He's older. He's polished. He knows what to say. Yeah. So I thought that was kind of unfair. I thought Hughes was put in a really tough situation there. And I think he said it's so weird, right? He has said and done all the right things. Mm-hmm. And if this was a slight misstep, oh, my God. It's like, this is what I'm telling you, man. Like, being famous and doing amazing things and having a spotlight on you, it's just they're putting booby traps all over the place, and eventually you're going to step in one, right?
They wait for something so that they can jump on you because there are just people that want to find reasons to knock you down.
Well, I mean, let's not act as if we're not. We're part of it also, though.
Oh, no, I get it.
We got time to fill every day, and if you make the mistake, we're like,
if we don't like what you said, we're going to call you out for it.
Right.
But if this is a case where it's just, did you want the puck? Yeah, you wanted the puck, but they're going to put it in the Hockey Hall of Fame. All right, fine. But
it's a nothing burger.
That's the best way to put it. It's a nothing burger.
Now, this is not a nothing burger to me, even though it may be. You guys remember a few weeks back, there was like a little back and forth between Logan Paul and Tom Brady, and it seems like it's about either promoting the silly the silly football game, or I said maybe the flag football, which I think is this week, and now it's in L.A. And then there was talk about, I think it's on Fox on Saturday or something like that. Anyways, then I said, well, Brady, he's been getting kind of tight with WWE. There was a rumor that some trademarks were filed. Well, things went further today at the press conference for the football thing. And let's hear what Tom Brady said when asked about how many WWE superstars it would take to, like, tackle him or something silly like that.
All their stuff is so cute and scripted, and they know what's going on. In a football game, you don't know it, so they wouldn't even get near me. Plus, if I had a good offensive line, they'd punch those guys right in the throat, and they'd be probably crying. And, there's no fake BS we do in American football. So for those guys, it'd be a whole different story for them.
So let me just say.
There's your catnip. There's your catnip. Look what he's doing.
But here's the thing. Here's my issue.
Come on.
Don't buy it. Don't do it.
If you have to say fake, if you have to do that in the thing that it's supposed to eventually lead to wrestling, you're ruining the thing. Because we know it's performance art. So if part of your way of drawing people in is by saying the whole thing that we'll eventually do is phony baloney, then you're not good at doing the thing.
I have a theory, though.
Go ahead.
You do that to sound like a hater, a naysayer, and then when you're drawn into it, and then after it's over, when he's laying flat and he just realizes, like, no, there's nothing fake about that.
Yeah, it's all a setup.
To me, it's taking a non-believer and making them a believer in the that's how you do it. He's going to be the bad guy. He's the one that everybody's going to hate. It's perfect.
So I guess the reason I'm not going there is it's so hard for me to picture any of those things happening.
Okay.
Like him actually getting getting his comeuppance doesn't seem likely, but maybe you're right. If that's the case, then this could be a really good way to go. But you can't, but now it has to happen. Like, can't literally do this, and then in the end, Tom Brady doesn't show up, or he shows up and wins.
Tom Brady hasn't criticized anyone or anything since he
ever.
retired.
Yeah, he wouldn't even say who he's rooting for in the Super Bowl, but now he's calling this fake.
I don't have a rooting interest.
It's a long term. Listen, he'll take the hit now, and then the next time he wins, they're setting you up. There's a wide angle lens on this.
And by the way, the person who fell for it, the wrestling guy. All right, let's get into Drop Madness, folks.
Day one.
We've got results on day one. We start out in the Flubs region. We predicted Don 90-10. We were close. It was 88-12 in favor of the 1 seed.
25 a month.
Don on a Rosenberg with you until 7.
In your ears. Get out them famously fast.
Not even close.
See, simple.
Good one.
Now, this one I thought could have been closer, but the 8 seed, Newish Jew Year, advances over Allen's Roger Staubach. Happy Jewish New Year, not Newish Jew Year.
No, that's a good one.
75-25, it's fine. 25 a month, you know what I mean? We move on to the funny region, where the 1 seed, a very dangerous and capable vape ape drop, advances.
A little yo-yo monkey boy, he wanted me to jump up and make the jokey so the people go laugh time.
70-30 victory over Allen's 10 seed. Or 16 seed, sorry.
Maya, can you say mama?
No.
Don't worry about it.
Hey guys, anyone want to play some ball?
There you go. That's the 16 seed that dropped 70-30.
70-30. I didn't have a chance then. But these are blowouts.
Now the drop you just heard, Maya, can you say mama?
Maya, can you say mama?
A 60-40 winner over, I'm sad to see him go, the number 9 seed Polar Bear.
Still didn't know how that's a polar bear.
I can't believe you can't hear it.
But that was a seal.
It's a perfect impression. Now, this was a tighter 1 versus 16 than some may have expected, but that is the power of Dick. Richard being involved in a drop really can add a lot. The 1 seed wins 57-43.
I had diarrhea that you dream about.
Over Richard's Brazzers.
Richard, have you ever heard of Brazzers?
No.
Now, that sends us to the troubling region, where it was a battle. It was urine versus feces for Don LaGreca. And our first quote-unquote upset The 9 seed, Sit in Your Stink, advances 53-47.
Sit in your stink.
Over the 8 seed, Pee on Each Other.
You know, maybe they can go pee on each other. That'd be great.
So Sit in Your Stink moves on. Now, you want to talk about a dangerous 1 seed. This is incredible. One of the biggest wins in the history of the tournament. The 1 seed, poor Joe Namath at 16 is done.
Yeah, this is tough.
And the 1 seed wins 89-11.
This is college football. Excuse me, this is college football on ESPN Radio. Oh my God.
Oh my God! The music coming in just
it's
adds
so
to
much.
The comedy.
There's the beginning.
The
then
guy
there's
going roll the song, just roll the thing. Yeah.
Then there's the one in the middle. You know when he hits the. It's just
and
so
then
good.
Oh my God!
Carlin's the best. All right,
I'm telling you, I don't think anybody's taking that one out.
It's going to be tough,
sorry.
man.
Very.
And then also in the nether region though, again the power of Dick. Richard advances 65-35, the 8 seed.
2 beautiful women died. I'll give you them quickly.
Over the Korean TV at 9.
No.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Richard taking out the Korean broadcast. You wouldn't think it, but Richard moves on. That'll do it for Drop Madness. Your update for today, as well as ENN, which was brought to you by Ramsey Mazda. Check out the 2026 CX-50 or the CX-90. Choose wisely. Choose Ramsey Mazda.
That was a lot of fun. Enjoy March Madness. We'll be back to do more of it with you tomorrow, including with the Sharks. Fins up.
5th seeded St.